You are entering Open Lines Friday. For today, anything goes. Thank you for your cooperation.
Pay los chingazos. Listos, pay los chingazos.
I'm gonna bring the whole fucking diseased, corrupt temple down on your head. It's gotta be biblical.
Welcome to our show.
All right, this is King Bucho. Welcome to BDA Boxing, the Boxing Debate Arena Open Lines Friday. That means that anybody can join. Everybody should join. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Dionysian, we have Langsbury, Jamie Raiden, Tu Matador, and The Accountant. All right. I forgot to put a link in the description. Fuck. Anyways, I'm going to be posting it in the chat as well. We're in the main BDA Discord. BDA Discord. So yeah, we have a bunch of things that we can talk about. Obviously, the fight tomorrow. I don't even. When's the weigh-in? Did the weigh-in already happen, guys? I have to check that. Yeah, well, the zone came out with a new plan. I still don't understand that shit because it's. I think it's like $500 and something US, and you get 12 pay-per-views. Obviously, you get everything else, but then you get an additional 12 pay-per-views. Now, the thing is, I was reading some of the comments, and some people were saying some interesting things. Like, okay, but how many? When do we ever even get 12? Oh, people can listen to me. All right, guys, you're already here. I see on Discord, guy. Welcome. So I'm talking about the zone and their new plan, which is like I think you pay like $500 or something like that, and you get 12 pay-per-views. Now, I was reading some of the comments, and people are saying, well, when do we even get 12 pay-per-views that are worth it? 12? Never. I mean, what's the best we can get in a year of good pay-per-views? 4? 2? All right.
Maybe
yeah.
2. Like a big Fury fight and something else.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about this?
You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it now. You're gonna get it now, but you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
not to cut anybody off, man, but Virgil Ortiz looks like freaking Skeletor, man.
Oh.
No energy at the weigh-in, bro.
Oh, yeah, the win was at 6. Fuck, I gotta check that out.
Oh,
yeah, it is interesting, though, that... Well, we'll get to the... Or should we get to the Ortiz thing now, or the
no, just say
thing?
what you want to say. I'm going to try and see how he looks.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's interesting.
Bucho, it's my birthday. I'm Jehovah's Witness, but can you just say like happy birthday a little bit?
No, well, you don't celebrate birthdays, man.
No, because I'm Jehovah's Witness, but anyways, I'm alone, so like...
I can't do it, man.
I will.
It's gonna... You don't do it. You're going against your religion.
You're gonna go to hell.
You're gonna
Yeah,
go to
no,
hell.
it's true.
No, you can't.
It's true. I'm going against.
Stick to your beliefs.
Stick to my beliefs.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hey, I just checked out the... Yeah, well, I can't say it, but I'll think it for you there, Gonzalo. I just saw the weigh-in. Ortiz doesn't look that bad. He looked somebody had posted a picture of him at the press conference. He looked drained in that one. But here at the actual weigh-in, they're facing off. He doesn't look that bad. He looks a little dried up, but who doesn't nowadays at the weigh-ins? Then again, though,
but what are you thinking about the rhabdomyolysis? That's what you're thinking about. If Victor Conte died, But you're thinking about the rhabdo. That's a rare disease. Did we all forget about that?
Which is
No.
Rhabdo.
Oh yeah. That shit that Ortiz had. Yeah.
The rhabdo, dog. Mips really. Go ahead. Sorry, I just
Yeah, I mean, this dude. I mean, now that Victor Conte passed away, Snack still exists. There's still got a couple of people in there that know what they're doing. Like we were talking about earlier in the last show. Now the only difference is he's going to have the same marketability that he used to have under Victor Conte's auspices, because he was the face of it. He was the guy that was always going around talking, being in front of the cameras. And Telkines, you had a particularly nasty show, nasty things to say about old Victor Conte. Now I just want to let people know that it is it's an open lines channel here right now. It's open panel, so the views that people the views represent the fuck am I saying? The views stated by the participants here do not reflect the BD organization. That's just what I wanted to say.
Hospice. You say hospice? What about hospice? Hospice.
Yeah. What I have to say about all that is now all these snack fighters, they're going to have to freaking deal with it. My big prediction is all these snack fighters are going to have withdrawals in the middle of their matches. From the look of it already, it looks like Virgil Ortiz is already going through a withdrawal, according to what I saw on the weigh-in. And I hope he gets himself checked out by the doc, bro. I don't want to see that rhabdo come back flared up.
That's the other thing I wanted to mention about this weigh-in thing is they had the weigh-in in the afternoon over there on the Central Time Coast or whatever it's called, and then they had the ceremonial weigh-in a couple of minutes ago. So I'm really getting tired of all this 36-hour weigh-ins. Now there's 36 hours in between weigh-ins, between the weigh-in and fight night. How does that work? Why not? See at some point, if they get close to 40 or 42 hours, in other words, not quite 2 days, but you're there, you're straddling the line. What's the point? They're bending the rules. And then the only thing people say about it is, well, that's the rules. Yeah, okay, we're not arguing whether it is the rule or not, because clearly it is, but what we're arguing is whether it should be the rule. It's nonsensical.
Sir, you're already talking about that. But you imagine the people that are running the show, they would think better, because this is a national TV. Are they not as smart, or they cannot fucking conceptualize what it means to run a fucking business?
I mean, yeah, I guess. I don't know, man. I mean, you kind of got me on that one, but yeah, man. But I mean, listen, at the end of the day, these dudes, that's the main thing that these PEDs do nowadays. And again, when I say PEDs, doesn't necessarily have to be illegal PEDs, because that's what the Conte used to say before he dies. Like, I am supplying PEDs. There's just legal PEDs, and then there's illegal PEDs. So what the system did or does for some of these dudes, it allows them to fight at a much lower weight. So that's why nowadays you see a lot of guys going through divisions and go, oh my God, this guy's a 4-weight division champion. Oh my God, how did he do it? Yeah, because they boil themselves down to a division they shouldn't be fighting at. And then when they finally move up in their mid-30s or early 30s, whatever, to another weight class, it makes it seem even more impressive. Like, oh my God, he jumped up 2 or 3 weight divisions. Well, nowadays, that's what all these guys are doing. I mean, Virgil Ortiz is probably going to end up as a middleweight one day, but he started his career at 140 pounds.
Well, I never was talking about it, and nobody wanted to listen to. When you dehydrate yourself, you can steal the De La Hoya did it to move. He's a 6-time 6th division world champion. Manny Pacquiao did it, but there's a difference here. These dudes are like, they're not even fighting the best. When you dehydrate yourself to step into fight another motherfucker, you're fighting the best in the other division. But
this is where you went, motherfucker.
Well, anyway, that's enough. I just said what I had to say.
By the way, I want to thank Frank Bay for his membership renewal. Thank you for that, Frank Bay, and you should jump on, man.
Yeah, shout out to Frank Bay and Food TV too. I haven't talked to him in a while. He should jump on, man, for open lines chat.
I mean,
he recently got hacked, BDA. So if you got any messages,
shit, man.
Yeah, we saw it, man. We saw.
Any messages telling you that you
I think he was just trolling, bro. I think he was just trolling and boasting that he won $500.
I don't think so, man. I don't think so.
He wasn't trolling. He got hacked.
Well, that's
the thing. I don't know how it happened.
Man. I don't believe it.
All right. Well, listen, just for people who might not know, might not be too internet literate or whatever. And I'm not saying that this is what Food TV did, but this is usually what happens on Discord. People click on attachments. They get some, don't listen unless it's from somebody you actually really, really trust, or you ask them for something, some sort of attachment. If somebody else out of nowhere sends you something, you got to click on it and download it. Don't do it. It's probably not going to end well for you.
No, BD, going back to the weight classes.
Porn. That's what he was in the wrong Discord server. That's what it was, BD.
No, he was in the he was in the Zoophilia Discord. Is what he was doing.
Come on. Okay,
Clicking on the downloads, man.
Let's calm down. Let's relax.
Can you cheat your shit? Can you cheat your way up to where you're cutting
Shut the fuck up, Gonzalo.
No, I'm just saying, dude. Victor come to die. Victor can't say die.
Yeah, man, it's a celebration, man. The whole entire month of November is a celebration of that guy's freaking downfall, bro.
James Burrell in the chat says they serve birthday cake on the road to hell. I didn't know that, but I guess that's an expression. I was never one for birthday cake, by the way. I don't like that. It reminds me, in Mexico, they used to give you the birthday cake with soda. And it's disgusting. Who the fuck eats cake with soda? That's what I associated with it.
That sounds very
So what do you think is going to happen to 168, with Crawford?
Hold on, they give them BDA, they give you tres leches with the fucking Coca-Cola.
Exactly.
Disgusting.
We're worried about the same shit, but worried about the 147. That shit's been stale for fucking 10 years.
Well, that's the thing, though. One of the guys from what's it say? It's called is it called the Boxing Rant? No, what's it called? It's two guys. It's
there's a lot of the boxing somethings, I
know, but I think we followed them on Twitter. I can't believe I'm forgetting the name. But anyway, one of the guys posted something. He said, when Devin Haney, because he's picking Haney to beat Norman, he says when Haney beats outboxes Norman, watch the boxing world go insane. Start talking about how he's a virtuoso and how Haney's back and blah blah blah. I'm thinking, you know what? I still don't know what to make of that fight. On the one hand, of course, I'm rooting for Brian Norman because I think boxing would be better off without the Haneys. But on the other hand, I don't know. Jim Lampley said a long time ago. He said it's very difficult to beat a guy who doesn't care about the audience. Meaning, if he wants to spoil the fight and stall and do whatever it takes, it's going to be very difficult to fight. And I might add, it's very difficult to fight a fast guy who doesn't care about the audience, because those guys will stink out the joint like there's no tomorrow. These are the guys that can bend below the waist really quickly, clinch. They can. Because again, people focus. Gonzalo, hold on, Gonzalo, please come on. People focus on the running from Haney in the last fight. It's not just that though. It's the lack of punching and it's the clinching. Those are the two main antagonists here.
BD, obviously, he's not that fast. His hook is lazy. It's like a wraparound shot.
I think.
Got no power. And especially, imagine Julio Cesar Chavez, you pinned it. Julio Cesar Chavez against Devin Haney. The power don't have that much. Julio Cesar will eat him up on the inside. To me, that's. Dude. Imagine
the fuck.
Coming on the top, it was like an iron chain, and then just gonna eat them up on the inside. So, to your point, I don't know.
Casamigos Kyle in the chat says Conte got reckless and doubled Haney's snack dosage before he passed. I mean, it looked like it, but the pictures that somebody posted on Discord and then Bucho, you posted it on the community section. This dude looks juiced to the gills. How was he even? You know what's funny?
Because he can't hurt nobody. We already know he can't.
I know.
But he's gonna have, like I said, he's gonna have snack withdrawal syndrome, bro. He's gonna have snack withdrawal syndrome with all this shit, and we're gonna see what's happening.
No, man, he's gonna fucking.
It's gonna be like Gremlins when the water got thrown on him.
Yeah, he's gonna turn.
But you know what's funny though? You know what's funny is we kept talking about how Devin Haney was gaming the system with all these weight gains and rehydrating over 25 pounds on fight night and all that. And people were like, no, it's not true, blah, blah, blah. And then now finally Devin Haney admitted that he was just staying there and he didn't really want to. But the reason why he did it was to take care of business. And again, that just goes to show you what I was talking about earlier about how what these PEDs do in a way as well is it allows these guys to hide in lower weight divisions. And that's what Haney does. That's what Shakur Stevenson does to a certain extent. Jaron Ennis at welterweight. Maybe you can add Virgil Ortiz to that list, depending on how he looks tomorrow. I mean, a lot of these dudes, they shouldn't be. They should be fighting at 20 pounds above what they actually fight at. nowadays. I mean, look at Terrence Crawford too. But people kept saying, "Hey, man, this dude should have been fighting at a middleweight a long time ago." And then when he finally says it, people still don't want to believe it. When he finally admits, "Yeah, I should have been at 168 a long time ago," people still don't want to admit it.
Just like in life, the truth comes out in the end, dude. The truth comes out in the end.
Indeed, he does. Indeed, he does.
Am I coming through clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed. Sobers.
Did you guys catch the Wayne? I mean, Telka is saying that Ortiz looks doesn't look good.
I was watching the press conference,
Yeah.
and Ortiz looked a little gaunt in the face. You know, he looked like he was feeling the cut. You know, he was looking a little like Skeletor-ish.
Oh boy.
So I think what's his name? Lubin looked a little bit more hydrated. You know what I mean?
Oh boy. I don't like this.
You gotta think that that is like the system. Virgil Ortiz is bothered. Compare James Haney
Yo, Gonzalo, you sound like shit, man. I don't know. Fix your mic. Get close to your mic, or.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Compare Devin Haney to Devin Haney's to his son. Okay, Virgil Ortiz to his son. The Virgil Ortiz dad is like a 6'2".
What?
Devin Haney's father, he got like the fucking chicken legs, dude. Yeah, it comes down to fucking genetics, dude. In my opinion.
Okay. Well, it could be.
Hey, Bucho, since you're not getting my messages, man, check. I gotta say it on the air. Check my messages, man.
Right.
But hey, so listen, Ortiz Lubin, it's the number 1 guy versus the number 5 guy. And that's a pretty interesting fight, man. I mean, considering the fact that a lot of these dudes at 154 pounds are very good. And I do think that anyone, or almost any one guy in that division can beat the other. I mean, it's not a clear-cut thing of, oh, yeah, these guys beats all of them. Gonzalo, I'm trying to talk here, man. Come on.
All right, Gonzalo.
Billy, because for the last 3 years, the 154 division, correction, it's like a revolving door because you're changing the 8 ounce to the 10 ounce gloves. And now, not only you like get the heavier gloves, but it's like the title changes hands. And what did Mona Ramos do? What did Lubin do? What did fucking Boychuk do? What did fucking Virgil do? He's just stepping up. All these motherfuckers like Charlo, all these fucking continue with Boxe Castano. That fucking division is so weird. Is it a better division? No, it brings an excitement to the game. But it's like a rolling hand. It's kind of like what do you call it? Like back in the day, what's that dude that used to point the finger when he got the knockouts? The black dude, like from fucking Nigeria, like from the islands.
The guy who used to point the finger after the knockout. Are you talking about a referee?
No, the dude that used to point the finger and like I got the knockout.
Julian Jackson. He was from the Caribbean.
Yeah. The U.S. Virgin Islands, right?
Yeah, but
exactly.
When he went up to 60, it changed. It changed.
I don't even know.
All right, man. Listen. Yeah. But I mean, look, these Waynes. First of all, Ortiz looks like a crackhead in that photo that you put there on the left hand, on the lower left hand corner. I mean, I don't know what that's about. But yeah, I mean, that's what snack allows these guys to do nowadays, man. They can cut a lot of weight and then rehydrate that weight. I don't know exactly how he does it or used to do it, but you know, like Vessel was the one who brought up that Russian dude that's with snack, and he was the guy. He was part of the old Balco days, and he's still there. It's just a lot of people don't talk about that guy. Everybody focused on Victor Conte. He was sort of like the scapegoat, but now that he's gone, probably going to be somebody else next up. Now, as to the fight itself, like I was saying, man, Lubin versus Ortiz, that's an interesting fight, man. We were talking about it the last episode, and some people were saying that Ortiz takes him out late. That's the other thing. I'm reading an article on Boxing 24 or whatever it's called. I forget it. There's Boxing 24 and Boxing News, and it's essentially blogs. It's essentially a blog. Anybody can really pretty much write there. And this guy was saying, well, Victor Ortiz, he struggled in his last 2 fights. I'm thinking, did he really struggle against Madrimov? I mean, I don't recall anybody saying, hey, I think Madrimov won or came close to winning. I think pretty much people were unanimous in saying that he won. So yeah, the Boychuk, I agree. That one was close, but the Madrimov one, I don't know. See, I don't know if it's like another case of pugilistic erotica.
More cleanly than oh my bad.
Remember the Gary Jonas interview? The Gary Jonas.
I was gonna say.
The Gary Jonas interview.
Virgil beat Madrimov a lot more clean than Bud did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, people want to judge it by Ortiz's face. So. People want to judge it by Ortiz. What? Yeah, people want to judge it by Ortiz's face. Though they go, but look at his face. He was more scratched up. It's like, okay, so we're judging fights on facial damage now. So if a guy's face is scratched up, that means he lost or he did worse. But yeah, hopefully, listen, I don't even know what's happening with these two guys because Ortiz says he wants to fight. Boots says he wants to fight. But then the representatives come out and say, no, they don't. One guy in this, one of these guys doesn't want to fight. I'm thinking, so what? It just sounds like he said, she said again. Classic boxing.
You know, Eddie Hearn's saying that we want this fight. We want the Virgil Ortiz fight. We don't have anything planned. Like they're just waiting for this fight, and I don't think that's true. Now, if you remember a few months ago, they wanted two tune-up fights, right? And now all of a sudden, one tune-up fight's enough. You know, a one-round fight is enough, and now we're ready for Virgil Ortiz. Complete nonsense.
Yeah, that made no sense, man.
And now it made no sense. And then I remember right after he beat Lima in one round, they were talking about fighting. Oh, they've always been saying that they want to fight Ortiz, right? But I think that might be bullshit. We don't know. But right after he beat Lima, they were talking about, we want a Sander Sayas fight. Like that. So, you know, they were trying to go for the weakest link, try to get a belt over there. But apparently now Sayas is going to be fighting that African guy. I forgot his name. What's his name again?
Baru. Boss Baru.
Baru?
Yeah, he's from Togo. Yeah, Togo is the country.
Okay.
But he fights out of Germany.
Togo. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Yeah, Togo by way of Germany.
Okay, so Sayas is apparently going to fight Baru in Puerto Rico. So that's going to be a unification fight.
Yeah, he said that month. He said that after the fight with Garcia, right? So yeah.
So that's a unification fight, right?
Yeah, that's unification for the WBA and WBO. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because remember, Baru beat Tellez.
Yes.
In pretty good fashion, and yeah, it was pretty good, man. So let's see. I think it's a better fight, anyways, and I still stand on my belief that Xander Zayas is levels above the 27-year-old prospect Virgil Ortiz.
Oh,
okay.
Well, that's interesting, man. That's interesting. I was talking with Frank. Talking with Frank Bay about that yesterday on his show, and Xander Zayas, he fought Perez, wasn't in his last fight, and Perez, he beat Conwell, so he sort of became a little bit of a spoiler in that one. And Zayas clearly beat Perez, but again, like we were talking about with Zach Parker against Boatsy, a lot of clinching in that Xander Zayas fight. A lot of clinching. One has to wonder what would have happened in that bout had there not been a whole lot of clinching.
Right. That's true.
Sometimes you gotta adapt.
How long is the Ortiz and Boots fight? How long has the Ortiz and Boots fight been in the air? It's been over a year now, right?
At least, yeah.
At least more.
At least.
Okay, so it's been over a year. It's already been past.
They were talking about it. No, when
I would say it's already left. It's already past the whole. And they've already left the whole weight class where they never fought, and it's been over a year. How long do you guys think they're gonna drag on before they really do fight? Because I'm getting a Spence
Crawford. I agree, man. I agree. I sense the same thing because, a lot of these dudes think, well, no, we got to get them a title first. Like they still think that, and it makes a certain degree of sense that, hey, nowadays, or it's been that way for a while. You put championship on the marquee, and people are gonna go. The casuals gonna go. Oh well, let's go watch it. That's still the belief a lot of these promoters have.
Was trying to do with Xander Zayas at the beginning, right? He tried to say, come to me when you have a world title, right? Now, when Virgil tried to go asking after Xander won the belt, he was like, now you come and see me when you have a world title. You know, so that's how the game's played, man. It's like a game of
we
Thrones,
don't like the
bro.
game. That's the thing. We don't like the game. As fans, we just want, you know, like, these guys are trying to marinate the fight because they
if
think
Virgil would have took the fight, if Virgil would have agreed to fight, like 2 years ago, when everything was still hot, you know, I believe that Xander wouldn't be acting like this toward him. You know what I mean?
Well, listen,
I think
about Xander Zayas, who cares about his paper belts, man? I mean, there's no champion in the division. That's still up in the air, and that would actually have to be between.
Virgil Ortiz.
and
I mean,
Moore, right?
the champion is the man who holds the most belts, and soon that will be Xander Zayas.
Ah, come on. So because he beats Perez and then he beats the guy from Togo, that's gonna make him the champion because he's got 2 paper belts.
Well, okay,
It makes him the champion, right? Makes him the champion. He holds the most belts, right?
Okay, so let's say Zayas beats Baru and he gets 2 belts. Does that make him the champion, even though Fundora has been there for a while now at that division, obviously, and having a pretty good record so far? Like, his resume is not that bad.
I mean, Fundora is a draft. Like, when you go and watch a Fundora fight, it's like watching a safari. Like, you're watching the damn Lion King or something.
I gotta tell you, Telkins is on fire today.
The only thing that's missing is the guy Labo M that's going Nan Singüenya Mabagiti Baba when that shit happens, bro.
You know the lyrics.
Telkins, he knows the lyrics. He knows it all, man. He knows all about this world music, they call it, on Spotify. If you go world music, that's
Telkins is a man of the world.
That's right. Now, but you know what I was gonna say about this Ortiz versus the thing about this Ortiz and this fight is, these promoters think, hey, if we just wait a little bit more, this guy's going to be red hot a year from now, or red hot, and it's going to be the biggest fight in boxing. I got news for these guys. I don't see it. They can wait 2 years. These people are not going to be neither Haney's nor Ortiz is going to be the biggest names. I think right now, this is the best they're going to get. It's going to be an interesting fight for the fans. It's not going to be a mainstream junket. It's not going to be Crawford Canelo, and they should just go ahead and make it. Because, again, there's a certain ceiling for these guys right now. Maybe one day they could be stars, but it's not worth it waiting around and to find out and letting this fight go by. They should just make it. And whoever wins this fight probably does, increase their public appeal. But them waiting around fighting guys that the public doesn't know who they are, that's only going to hurt their star appeal.
Yeah. Is it possible that do you think that?
Yeah, and I also think Ring Magazine's going to get fighters hurt too. Like ranking fighters number 1 in the weight class when they've never won a world title in their career, that's going to get them hurt, bro.
Yeah, but I think they're ignoring the belts though. That's the thing. They don't give a fuck.
They're ignoring the belts and they're looking kind of dumb when they rank it like that. To be honest. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to see how they start ranking. I mean, they're gonna be ranking like they've always ranked, maybe, or a man who's never won a world title above world champions in the division. That but makes zero sense. Okay, so Zayas is gonna become a unified champion. Like, does that even make sense? That he's above all these guys? Man. He said it months ago, bro. So he said it. No, I understand, because but he unifies. How does that put him above Murtazaliev and Fundora? Because he's unifying, bro. He has the Thanos hand like Canelo had. You know what I mean? You know what? I'm looking at the rankings here. I'm looking at the who's got a belt here. Sebastian Fundora has a WBC belt. Virgil Ortiz has the interim WBC belt. Xander Zayas has that WBO belt, which 15 years ago, people weren't even considering as a real belt. It's only now. See, again, people, I have to keep repeating it, but it's true. People now, but this guy's a champion, or a champion in the 4-belt era. They allowed the WBO to become a legitimate organization. But 15, 20, 25 years ago, nobody cared about it. But now all of a sudden it matters. So my thing is, in 5 years from now, is the IBO going to become a legitimate belt? It's going to be undisputed in the 5-belt era. But anyway, Bakram Murtazaliev, he's the IBF. It should be, because you have respectable fighters like Anthony Kakachi who beat up that Joe. Cordina. Yeah, Joe Cordina. So yeah, that's a good example why you should respect the IBO.
We're in the 5-belt era, BDA.
No, please don't say. You know what? 5 years from now, Yeah, 5 years from now, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be the IBF.
I mean, if
people
they
are going to go
include
with
the
it.
Zuffa
No, that's my
belt,
question.
they'll probably be the 6-belt era. They might skip over the 5-belt era.
666, man. That's what it's going to be. Hey, by the way, so Fundora and Virgil Ortiz both have a version of the WBC belt. Zayas has a WBO. Murtazaliev has the IBF. And then in the WBA, you got Barao. He's the regular champion. And Jaron Ennis is the irregular champion, or as interim champion, as they like to call it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it is, man. So, listen,
So there's 6 people there calling themselves champions in that division.
I hope they're not waiting
to the world, man. We need to bring back the WBU. Remember the WBU?
I remember
man.
the IBA,
Bring
the
it back.
IBA, the IBU, the LBF. They had a bunch of belts back then. Yeah, somebody said the LBF. Don't forget the prestigious LBF.
Yeah, man. Just bring them all back, bro. Bring them all back, and nobody will know who's the real champion.
Well, what about when TKO gets active and they have their own belt?
Yeah.
I've been told that that the winner of the Zuffa belt can cash in to face the Ring Magazine champ.
No way.
That's basically the way it's been told to me.
What?
From several
By
sources.
who?
Who told you that one? Yeah.
The Voice?
It was somebody who's very, very close knit into the UFC, basically.
All right. So you're saying if you win the TKO
based out of
belt, you get a
Nevada.
shot at the ring belt?
Yeah, basically, that's the
What?
plan. It's supposed to be like a kind of provide like as a trinket to transition into
Like a trampoline.
basically wiping out the whole entire sport of boxing. Is exactly its intent.
Damn, that's fucked up. Well, we'll see what happens with that. I don't know, Frank Bay, do you want to say anything about this?
Oh yeah, if they have the belts thing, they should just make it racial belts, or regional belts. I think would be funner, right? The American belt, the Mexican belt, the hood belt, like the Puebla belt. Like, let's make it regional and set some rivalries. I think the UK has the Commonwealth belt, have the Asian belt. That'd be funner.
They do have regional belts.
Yeah, all the oceanic belt, man. That's ridiculous, man. That's fun though. Because you have guys like Junior Fall and interesting fighters like that, man, who actually gave Joseph Parker a decent fight.
The Hyperborea belt.
Something to
Why
make
not,
it
man?
fun. I mean, these belt organizations is we know it's pay to play. That's what it is. They get the sanction
yeah.
fee.
I love
That's the
them
thing, man.
sanction fees, man. The
Anybody
payday.
can get a belt, man. If you get the right connections, they can get you a belt. I mean, if you can have fight a little bit, if you get a little bit of talent and they maneuver you. I mean, who is Sir Chavez Jr.? Didn't he get a belt at some point?
WBC.
The WBC. Well, there you go.
He was
man.
a legit champ, baby.
I mean, he couldn't hold on to it for long.
Yeah,
but
but
I mean, they got him the belt.
he got beat by one of my favorite fighters, Sergio Martinez, bro. In that good war, bro. That was a good war.
What I don't want to see is one company have a belt like that. That's what I don't want to see is one company have a stranglehold on the belt. I mean, belts make sense.
That's what we're gonna see.
Is worldwide.
TKO.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's
We're not gonna see that, man. We're not gonna see that. Their garbage belt is gonna produce some shitty champions, and they're gonna be like they're gonna fade out of existence like the WBU, even if it gets that far, because they still got to pass that legislation, in order for that to go into effect in the first place. And that has
that's one of the things that we need to start establishing here again. When you want to make boxing great again, whatever you want to call it, whatever idiom maxim you want to throw out there, you want to improve boxing, start enforcing the rules, stop letting guys get away with stuff and then preventing other guys from doing the same thing. And the other thing is, get rid of some of these belts. Hey, belts matter. Yeah, I agree to a certain extent. But if I can agree to that to a certain degree, people also have to agree to a certain degree that there's such a thing as too many belts. Too many belts don't matter anymore, now do they? It's almost like, it's like praising somebody. If I praise you and you're like, oh, thanks, man, thanks. And then you hear me praise everybody I meet in the street, then you're going to go, well, wait a minute, what does his praise mean if he's just praising everybody? It sort of dilutes itself. It's the same thing with these belts. They're oversaturated, they're diluted. and I don't like them.
Fuck them belts. Fuck the belts.
Oh, wait a minute. You didn't need to go that far with the
Just unify. Just
Probably
unify
look like a nerd. If pirates were a nerd, that screenshot.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What happened? What's the story behind that? Why is Polo Malignaggi wearing a
thing? No.
Yeah.
Oh.
But he looked like a nerdy pirate.
I saw that picture from 2 weeks ago, was it? Where he was all scratched. Somebody in the Discord said the guy turned into Frankenstein. So I guess that healed up, but the eye's fucked up now. Jeez Louise.
Who lost an eye? Montiel? No, Montiel. Which boxer lost an eye or something? Remember? I don't know.
I mean, when? Give me a time, like a time frame or something.
I have no idea.
Recently or?
No, a long time.
Right.
Montiel. It was a Mexican guy.
Like a guy lost an eye. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's Vasquez. Are you talking about?
Was it Vasquez then? Yeah, probably.
Margarito's eye got fucked up. Remember that one? He looked for a while there. His eye looked all fucked up.
Yeah.
It looked like he had a glass eye at some point. But okay, let's talk about the DAZN, man. Let's get to the DAZN pay-per-view thing because that's a big story on Twitter right now. People are complaining about it.
Somebody explain to me how this shit works. This new plan.
All right.
I don't know. People are posting on social media. It's $40 a month, but then there's a monthly fee, and then there's a fight pass. There's a type of pass. So they just get you, man. Like, I don't know if anybody's ever been to Disneyland lately, but you pay to get in the park, you pay for parking, but then they have ride passes. You got to buy a pass just to get in the ride.
Whoa, wait a minute.
That's crazy. Of course, anybody who's been to an amusement park, it's a lightning pass, so you can beat the crowd.
Yeah, we have that too here. We have that too. We have like a Six Flags.
That's gouging, bro. Yeah, it's like
and then it's like just line up. Even if you pay for that, you don't even like. So it's ridiculous. Okay.
But there's tiers to the lightning pass. It's like you can pay for 20 minutes. It's just insane, bro. It's insane. So everybody's kind of going this route with tiers and levels of subscription. That's just where we're at.
It is. It's a subdivision. You're segmenting the money that comes in just to make it seem like, you got options, but essentially they're just steps that they're you have to take, so they keep draining you. It's almost like a labyrinth where they keep pricking you and sucking your blood out bit by bit. And that's the thing, though, because we were talking about that on the Discord, and apparently the way it works is right now, if you pay for the zone, and then there's a pay-per-view, you got to pay for the pay-per-view. So what this new package deal, whatever, what they're doing with it is that you pay $40 now, which is double, more than, right now it's 25 here in Canada. So they say it's going to be 45, which is almost double, right? So what they say is you pay $45 per month now. In other words, $540 a year, I think. You get all the events on the zone plus the pay-per-view ones, which they say they're looking to do 12 next year. Now, if you just stick to the regular DAZN, and then let's say in theory you buy all the pay-per-views, all the pay-per-views alone are going to cost you $600 if they are priced at $50 per pop per pay-per-view. Yeah, around. So it does seem like it's a better deal, but then again, it's almost as if maybe it's a little bit of the Hegelian dialectic. It's like they're introducing a problem, and then the solution is something that they wanted to implement a long time ago anyway. So I don't know. The other problem was we were talking. Oh, well, I don't know. But listen, the other thing is this: like people were saying in the Discord, here's the problem: 12 pay-per-views. If those pay-per-views are like the 5 versus 5 card, or the Crawford Madrimov card, or the Latino Night card, or whatever it was last year, or Day of Reckoning, okay, that's worth it to me. But let's not forget, people were talking about that on the Discord. We also had Aitama versus White this year as a pay-per-view, and recently Joseph Parker versus Fabio Wardley. So if those are included in the 12 pay-per-views, it just leaves 10 more pay-per-views there that might be worth it. In other words, you're paying in advance for a pay-per-view card that you don't even know how it's going to look.
That's true. Somebody mentioned that. Like, what if we get a bunch of shitty pay-per-views? Also, somebody mentioned 12 pay-per-views. When have we gotten 12 pay-per-views in a year? And when have we gotten, like, the majority have been actually good? Like, 12?
that's the thing. That's a distinction. Okay, we Fresh Prince in the chat, because that's one of the guys I was talking to. He said that we had, and I'm gonna go off the top of my head here. I forget which one, but he said Bivol Beterbiev 2, which was a mega card. City of Wolves, Canelo School.
Yeah.
Conor Benn versus Conor Benn versus Chris Eubank Jr. So that's 4. Usyk versus Dubois, the rematch, that was pay-per-view.
Oh wow.
Wardley versus Parker. Aitama versus White, that's 7. What was the other one? Oh, the Shakur Stevenson. That wasn't the main event. Berlanga versus Shiraz. That's 8. Did I mention the City of Wolves? I think I did, right?
Yeah, you did. So we have 8.
Okay, so that's 8. That's 8. And there were other. I think there were more pay-per-views. Let me see if I can find the. So he said, okay, I found it. Beterbiev, Bivol, Eubank, Garcia, Canelo School, Usyk, Dubois, Parker, Wardley. Okay, no, so that was about 7. And then we got the Ring 4 card, and then we got Inoue versus Picasso. So that's about what were we at 10, now? 10 pay-per-view? 10? Okay, 10 so that's almost 12.
So that's 10 pay-per-views this year. And some of them shouldn't be pay-per-view. I mean, Aitama, Dylan White. You gotta be fucking kidding me. I mean, I would be pissed off if I'm paying for 12 and then that's one of those pay-per-views that's including my 12 that I paid for. This is what they're gonna be doing, though. A lot of fights that shouldn't be on pay-per-view, they're gonna just put them on pay-per-view. Just to tell you, here's your pay-per-view. Here's your pay-per-view. It's free. Here you go. It's like, well, it's not free, but I mean, it's included in your package. But it's like, yeah, but you're giving me garbage.
Exactly. In other words, Ortiz Lubin, if it were to take place next year instead of right now, would it be pay-per-view? Because, I mean, right now it shouldn't be pay-per-view. No, I mean, no one's even showing up for that fight. People say, it's because the tickets are overpriced. For whatever reason, people aren't showing up to that fight.
So what they're going to do is, they're going to give you Ortiz Lubin on pay-per-view next year. If it would have happened next year, it would have been a pay-per-view. Yeah,
it's almost like they're going to turn them into premium fight. Any fight that is worth watching, they're going to put it premium, and shit like Ennis versus that last guy that he fought, Pia or whatever, the guy who looked like that's not going to be pay-per-view. But then if it's Ennis versus let's say Stanionis, they're going to put that on pay-per-view. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that's not what they do. But I can just see them, maybe having the temptation to do so.
Let Mace, I don't know how you pronounce it. He says we have to ask. Okay, let me. He says we have to ask why all these events have to be pay-per-view. Is it just greed, or are the fighters asking for too much money? I think it's the latter.
I think so.
I think the latter. That's the thing. That's the problem.
Well, Butcher, think about it. Shakur Stevenson, and guys too, I don't know if you guys want to jump in here. Shakur Stevenson had been offered right before he left Top Rank, when they wanted to renegotiate the deal, they offered him a 5-fight deal, which was $3 million per fight, $3 million payday per fight. And he said no. So how much is Eddie Hearn paying him? And then if he, for the when he fought the plumber, I don't know how much he got paid for that one. I know he was supposed to fight Schofield. But so how much he's gonna want if he fights Teofimo Lopez next year? $8 million for two guys that don't sell? And I know people are gonna say, but Shakur Stevenson actually does well in New Jersey. I don't know if he actually does that well in New Jersey. Look at all the people that were walking out of his fight, his last 2 Top Rank fights.
Yeah, I don't know how much he's getting paid, but yeah, even those fights. I don't know, man. I don't know the country. I will have to see how much they're getting paid and what type of contracts they're getting.
Well, I was telling Frank Bay yesterday that maybe in principle, maybe even hardcore fans should start going the fire stick route, or as we were calling it yesterday, the fire dick route. Because really, I mean, they're fleecing. I mean, again, let's wait and see. I'm not an alarmist, so let's wait and see what type of pay-per-views they have next year with this new DAZN package, whatever. But if it turns out to be crap, how many times are these people going to shit down our throats and we're just going to munch it up and swallow it? At some point, we got to do something else as well. And people say, well, don't buy it. Well, guess what? You cannot buy it, and you can that's people are going to do that. People are not going to buy it, and they're still going to watch it somehow.
Yep, people are going to watch it if they want to. I mean, it's not like they're going to walk away from the sport. If they're boxing fans, they'll find a way. And it's interesting that this is happening right now. First of all, because a few months ago, Turkey, His Excellency, said that no more pay-per-views. Remember that? No more pay-per-views. And then
right.
that was all of a sudden, oh, well, we're still going to have pay-per-views. Everybody gets pissed off. Then, later on, they say, well, we have this package. You pay for this package, and then you have 12 pay-per-views, including the upcoming Ring 4 and Chris Eubank Ben rematch. So they came. I think they came up with this at this moment because we have 2 pay-per-views coming up, right? And they probably think that a lot of people were going to pay for these pay-per-views, right? So they're like, hey, well, if they're going to pay for these pay-per-views, might as well throw in this idea, right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the perfect moment. There's 2 pay-per-views coming up, so it's like, hey, well, guess what? We have a package. We have a package. You pay right now. You get those 2. It's included in the 12 fight package. So that's their fucking plan. It's the timing. Perfect timing.
Yeah, and I know that's one of the things we were talking about today about, well, when they said that, what they meant was, and I'll admit, man, I sort of fell into it because it sounded so conventional or believable, rather. Excuse me. That's the word I was looking for. It sounded probable that when the Sheik said, hey, no more pay-per-views, that's what he, I mean, I know that what people were spreading was that he said no more pay-per-views for the ring cards. I knew that there were still going to be pay-per-views, but not just not for the mega cards. Those were going to be free, supposedly. And then people were saying, no. What he meant was with this new package, technically they're free because you're paying for the package throughout the year, so you're not buying individual pay-per-views. But that's just that's a technicality right there. That's a bunch of people. And so I don't even know if that's what they meant or not initially, but whatever the reason is, now they're charging you for 12 and that's a lot of pay-per-views, man. That's a lot. That's what I was telling Frank yesterday.
All those
was
pay-per-views are high quality. That's what I keep saying.
Exactly. I mean, how many? I know now that Frank Warren's there on DAZN. Matchroom is there too. Golden Boy. So with those 3, and then you got Top Rank now. They're borrowing or lending out their fighters. So that's a lot of fighters. Yeah, you can do some mega cards with those. But 12 per year?
No,
they're all going to be solid cards.
This is what it's going to be like the WWE. They have a pay-per-view a month. I don't know if they still do that shit, but back in the days, remember they had that? Does the UFC still have 1 pay-per-view a month?
I think so. Maybe, I don't know if Sobers can enlighten us on that. I think he watches it more than we do. Yeah, he buys all of it, by the way.
In the chat, let us know in the chat. Does UFC have 1 pay-per-view per month or more?
I see Sobers is unmuted, but he just won't speak. He's challenging us. That's his way of challenging us to silence.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I like that.
Yeah, but I was just going to say something about these pay-per-views. Shit, I lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah, okay.
That's just one company, though. Like, geez, that's just this company. There's PBC, and we'll still put on their pay-per-views. And then Top Rank, depending on where they go, they might do their own kind of subscription or pay-per-view. So you're already paying subscription. That's the thing, is you're paying the subscription. Now they just want to gouge you.
Exactly, man. That's, I mean, again, it could be worth it if they really give us.
Yeah, but what if they stack the cards? Like, okay, 12 pay-per-views. Some of them have
somebody
very good main events.
Like Bivol Batur versus 5.
Oh shit, I'm cutting off here.
No, I think I was cutting off.
No, it's the fucking what the fuck is called? It's called Discord was red. I was saying, what if these cards are stacked though? Like maybe the main event's not like a super fight, but the undercard's pretty good, well balanced, competitive.
But this is just maybe a weird question. But is there enough talent to really put on 12 stack pay-per-views? Like if you really think about the talent in boxing, I mean, it's a shallow pool.
I think it's possible, though, Frank, because first of all, it would allow certain fighters to fight more than just twice a year. And like I was saying earlier, think about everyone that's under the DAZN umbrella now. You got Queensberry, which, Frank Warren. You got Matchroom. You got Golden Boy. Probably you could bring in some of those Eastern European guys or maybe the Japanese. Don't forget that Top Rank now, they're lending out their fighters. So that's about 4 or 5 organizations there that are, maybe now the PBC too. They're going to keep because Lubin is still with the PBC, right? Isn't he under their umbrella?
I believe so.
So but he's fighting on DAZN. Oh, I can't. I don't know though. I'd have to check. But anyway, yeah, I do think there's enough talent for them to stack these cards. Now, whether they're going to do it or not, the different.
Because what I see with DAZN is they have like 3 or 4 British cards a month. Like they have boxing, but it's just like at least 3 of them are the UK cards. Like who? Like it's really dry. As far as the like Oscar's cards, like the Lubin, as far as like Oscar putting on a card, is just Lubin and Ortiz. But the undercard, I mean, you got Darius Fulham versus I don't know. So, you know, yeah, there might be enough talent, but it's gonna be tough to assemble it 12 times a year, 3 to 4 fights. You're gonna have a lot of lower divisions, so Bam is gonna have to fight 4 or 5 times to give him something. But how many opponents does Bam have? If you look at it, the landscape.
Yeah, well, that's
or something.
Yeah, that's a singular situation right there. That they're gonna have to try to figure out what to do with him. Well, I mean, there's a bunch of other guys that they can put in there at least twice a year. And again, this might give some guys chances to fight 3 times a year, because that's the big problem too with boxing nowadays. There's no TV dates. Well, now if you get 12 pay-per-views on top of regular shows, come on, now there's very little excuse. I mean, maybe it seems like a lot to me. Maybe I'm making too much out of it. Maybe you're right, Frank. Maybe that's not a lot. Or maybe it's too much. I mean, no, you're saying that it's too many dates, not enough fighters.
I think it might be
well, no, I'm saying first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, I'm just saying it's just off the top of my head. It's too much for stat cards, because we expect 3 to 4 big time fights. I'm not talking about Bam Rodriguez versus Puma. Like, I'm talking about the stack. Virgil Ortiz versus Jaron Ennis on the undercard. Teofimo versus Shakira. Like, those are stat cards. Just having the headliner with some good fights but not great fights is not stat.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. When they tell you 12 pay-per-views, you imagine something great, but it's not, because like BDA said, look at this year. We had 10 pay-per-views from the zone. And out of those 10, you had Dylan White against fucking Aitama. That's not a pay-per-view. Why do you call it a pay-per-view? Oh, because we decided that you have to pay for this, but it shouldn't be a pay-per-view. It's not in that level. When you talk about pay-per-view, you expect a certain type of fucking quality, right? High-level fight. So anyway, so when they're telling you 12 pay-per-view fights, just remove the word pay-per-view and just think you're getting 12 fights guaranteed, because you know damn well that not all of them are going to be pay-per-view quality. Why do you know that? Well, because this year that's what happened. You got 10 pay-per-views and a lot of them weren't supposed to be pay-per-view. What's going to change? Are they telling you that they're going to actually make better fights next year? They didn't say that.
That's a good point.
They haven't said that.
That's a great point. That's what makes me suspicious, man. Again, we're living in the age of skepticism and cynicism. And that's what, those two things, that's what we are. That's what you grow into as a boxing fan. You just develop a skin of cynicism, because that's, they've been shitting down our throats for years now. And that's what I was saying earlier. If next year they give you fights like on the level of an Ennis versus Stanionis, which was free this year, but then all of a sudden next year that's actually pay-per-view, that's going to be a problem. If they start giving us for free TKO or Pro Box level fights, which are good, don't get me wrong, but the reason why everybody enjoys Pro Box is because they're sort of the bargain fights, but they're free. They don't charge you for them. And I don't know how they're making a profit, but God bless them. Right now, there's going to be some Pro Box action going on later tonight. So I like Pro Box, but if that's what we're paying for, those type of level of fights on the zone via TKO boxing, the new league or whatever, I'm sorry, that's just not worth it, man. I don't want to have to pay for any Stanionis. It's not a pay-per-view fight. No one's gonna pay for it. I'm telling you right now, when people say, "Oh, you're exaggerating," nobody, you know what I mean. Damn near nobody. I think that's actually gonna drive a lot of us remaining hardcore fans away from paying for these fights or these services at all.
Yeah, and speaking of like quality of boxing cards, like I had to kind of like take myself back a little bit, because I was kind of praising the Pitbull Roach card a little bit. Then I had to think about like, okay, Pitbull Roach, that's an okay fight. Then you got Lara Janabek. The fact that Lara at 41 years old can hold a belt just shows how terrible the middleweight division is currently. So that fight's kind of not as good as I originally thought it was. Then you got Fulton Foster. When you think about it, it's like, okay, those are 2 top guys in that weight class going at it. But then you think, well, they're both boring, so who wants to watch that? And then you got Ramos in a Stay Busy fight with Mosley Jr. So really, it's a decent card, but it's getting praised as being a great card when it's okay. It's not anything. Exactly. And I think that might be a pay-per-view. Pitbull Roach, I think it might be.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
And that's the other thing it's not worth paying for either.
And you know what? You started having a little bit of the battered wife syndrome right there. When you were like, like the battered wife, when she goes back to, no, he's not that bad. He loves me. That's what you were acting like when you thought that was a good card. And I'm not going to blame you. I'm not judging you. Well, actually, I am judging a little bit, but I'm judging myself too, because I fell for it too a little bit. When I looked at it at first, I was actually saying that on the air. I said, this is actually a pretty good card. And then I started going through the fights. And I said, wait a minute, it's not that good. I mean, not pay-per-view. I mean, Johnny Beck versus Lara. Lara's a fucking old guy. The only reason why I'm interested in that fight is because Lara, it'll be interesting to see if Johnny Beck can just wipe him away and finally do away for him with him for good. Fulton versus Jackie Foster, like you said, that's the potential for a very boring fight.
Oh, God.
Ramos versus Shane Mosley Jr. or whatever his name is. I mean, come on. And the only interesting fight on that card, really on that docket, is what's the other that one that I'm missing?
Lara Johnny Beck. Lara Johnny Beck.
Oh, you already said is the main event's Pitbull Roach, and you forgot about it, so that says everything.
Well, I mean, yeah, there you go. Yeah, that shouldn't be pay-per-view. Come on.
BD, I just thought of what I was thinking too is if you look at the UFC, because they tried this first, right? They put a pay-per-view every month, but have you seen they really fell off because they don't have any more names. They're just a depth of talent in the UFC to keep doing pay-per-view because they have to put on losing fighters. So let's say we get Benavidez, Bivol early next year, right? But then David loses and they try to bring him back on pay-per-view. It's like, is there going to be enough talent and our boxing fans going to keep paying for pay-per-views when you have to recycle the talent? You're not going to be able to keep putting the top of the top because they're all going to take losses if you keep matching them tough.
That's a great point. And you know what?
You guys understand that.
Yeah. And that's an interesting point because I keep, whenever I'm on Sober's Discord where they talk a little bit more about MMA, they talk a little bit about MMA there as well. One of the things I keep seeing is people on Twitter and all that, people still talk about John Jones. Like the UFC, they seem to want the guy to come back, and fans seem to want the guy to come back. And he's in his 40s, he's fat, he's a cokehead. That's the guy that they want. They're so starved for stars right now that they need. And now some people could say, well, what about boxing? Don't you guys have Manny Pacquiao? Yeah, but nobody's clamoring for him to fight. For example, like one of the top guys. Like nobody's clamoring for a 45-year-old Pacquiao to fight Crawford or Jaron Ennis. You know what I mean? There might be some people, but as a whole, boxing fans, they're not clamoring for Pacquiao versus anybody. We're intrigued.
Example, they had Shane O'Malley who was a pay-per-view star, but they have to keep pumping him out there 3 to 4 times a year on pay-per-view, and he's going to get beat, and you can't bring him back and sell pay-per-views. It's just not going to work. They're trying to keep this Iritapa guy, right? But eventually he's going to get beat, and are you going to be able to pump him out 2 more times on pay-per-view? So they're kind of struggling to just recycle, and the fans are like, nah, I'm not going to keep paying pay-per-views for these guys that are taking L's. It's just not going to happen.
And then you got all these Chechens who are these lay and pray
the
guys.
Guy who wins, they don't want to see him up.
Well, it's like boxing. Yeah. They try to push the ass fighters onto us, and nobody wants to see them fight. So, but you know what's interesting about MMA though is about 10 years ago or thereabouts, they had Conor McGregor. That was about their second golden era. Because for me, the golden era of UFC was when it really became mainstream and it had a novelty factor. The first novelty factor was when the UFC started out as the main MMA organization. Then also it went to the dark ages, and then by the mid 2000s, especially the late 2000s, it had its first or actually its second wave of mainstream attraction and appeal, thanks to the Ultimate Fighter. And you might think about the roster that they had. They had Georges St. Pierre, they had Anderson Silva, they had Brock Lesnar. I think they still had guys like Tito Ortiz, Quentin Rampage Jackson. Like these were, that's how they were able to get a lot of that WWF audience. Brock Lesnar brought all those guys over there. A guy that they knew is like, oh, he can compete in actual fighting. Because, wrestling guys, they have this complex about how since it's not real fighting, then they desperately want to prove that their guys are real tough guys, which they are. I mean, wrestlers, if you look at their schedules, I mean, it's hell on the body. But it's not actual, it's not a real fight with an undetermined outcome. So when Brock Lesnar went over there, that was the golden era. Like again, Georges St. Pierre, Anderson Silva, Brock Lesnar. They see got like Randy Couture and Tito Ortiz and a little bit of Chuck Liddell. Then Conor McGregor proved to be the third wave. But now, who the fuck do they have? Like you said, Maloney, or what's his name? Anderson, the guy with the pink haircut.
O'Malley, Sugar Shane O'Malley.
Yeah, that just goes to show you. For a while there, pre-pandemic, it was what's his name? The flying knee guy. Street Fighting Jesus. What was his name? Masvidal. Yeah, for a little while it was Masvidal. And apparently he was just essentially a contender. He was never a pound for pound guy in the UFC. So that was a big name.
It's like Gotti.
Well, yeah, a little bit, yeah.
well, and Nate Diaz, and how many times do they have to recycle him? You know, like it's hard to keep the talent pool enough to keep these pay-per-views going. It's just not a sustainable thing, in my opinion. So let's, like, for example, let's say Shakira and Tio fight. It's pay-per-view, and Shakira thinks the joint out to no end. They're gonna have to force him down our throats for pay-per-view again, and it's gonna suffer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then you got fans saying, "Well, Shakur's," that's what they were doing with Tank Davis when he was gonna fight. That when people wanted him to fight Shakur Stevenson and or Devin Haney. One of the big arguments that people were making for Tank Davis was he's fought on pay-per-view. He's fought on pay-per-view. Same thing with Spence and Crawford. Well, Spence has fought on payper-view, and there was a degree of validity to their argument. But just because you fight on pay-per-view doesn't make you a pay-per-view star. Same thing with Shakur Stevenson. And we were talking about that yesterday. About you look at all these mega cards that I liked, like 5 versus 5 and the Crawford Madrimov and the others. They never release the numbers, the pay-per-view numbers, because they do horrible. So even these stacked cards aren't working out. So at some point, the Sheik and all these guys, they got to realize, you can still make those type of fights. You just got to cut the cost. Stop paying, or just stop overpaying these guys.
Yeah, but when are they going to stop? When are they going to do this? Stop paying.
I don't know,
guys.
Man.
I'll tell you when people stop buying their bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's going to maybe take a while, but, maybe this is going to be it.
Just tell them to stream the fights and screw paying for any of that subscription. Screw it all, bro.
We should put a disclaimer up. We don't want people to think that we're advocating for that. But
screw what Dana White is saying about. Oh, I know people are out there streaming. We're gonna catch you. No, you're not. You freaking twat. Dana. That's one of the reasons. Let me tell you, I heard you guys saying about like the WWE and the UFC and all that. Well, let me tell you this. Now they're under the TKO umbrella together, both the WWE and the UFC. And now we have this this gambling scandal popping off, right? Where people are match fixing and shit like that. So they're getting caught doing these WWE matches in the UFC. And that's going to look bad, right? That's going to look real bad when they're talking about this in Congress. I promise you.
If they get it to Congress, I mean, if they are able to what's the word I'm looking for here? Fill the pockets of the right people, for lack of a better term, then maybe they get away with it. I don't know. I don't even know what the situation is. So I can't really speak.
They have to send it through Congress and Senate and have it signed in. I mean, that's just common sense there. They're not even. They only took care of the California State Athletic Commission. That's one athletic commission. You got many to go.
True.
Yeah, I mean, the boxing has a lot of problems, and right now they're stacking up. That's the thing that with boxing fans, you don't want to give us too much time off. You don't want to give us too many dark spots, because you know what we do in those dark spots? We start thinking. Yeah, we start overthinking sometimes, and we start seeing reality. We start seeing things for what they are. And right now, I'm starting to see that they didn't announce any fights during this dark period, other than Navarrete versus Sugar Nunez. And I'm seeing all I'm seeing is more money. You got to pay more now and more pay-per-views. And I'm thinking, come on, man. And you know what? This whole thing of, hey, join the Fire Dick gang, maybe people are going to do it either way because of the way the economy is going right now. Maybe people won't have a choice but to actually, swindle these fights.
Alfredo start going.
I hear you talk Let's talk about the Hebrew Hammer, Cletus Selden, right? Versus my boy Kevin Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Go
ahead. What do you want?
That's for an interim title at 140, actually. Kevin Brown's only 8-0. So yeah, man, it's gonna look very sharp. I'm predicting Kevin Brown out slicking the Jew fighter, the Zion.
What the fuck is this guy talking about?
Telka is
next in Orlando at Caribe Royale. Book it, man.
Telkins woke up with battle and war on his mind, man. He's going after everybody.
Jesus.
He's leaving no stone unturned. So yeah, listen, the zone. Yeah, listen, the zone, man. It's an interesting thing that's going on right now because with the Sheik this last year and a half, it really did seem like it put the sport back on par against the UFC, for example. But now the UFC is having its own problems with fixing scandals and lack of stars and this and that. But boxing too is starting to regress a little bit, man. And again, I can't help but wonder if it's because these guys are overpaid. And that's why now these dudes are going, well, if we want to keep giving these mega cards, we got to start charging pay-per-view for it. And they were already charging pay-per-view for it. I mean, again, 5 versus 5, well, that was a pay-per-view. Joshua Ngannou, Usyk, Fury 1 and 2, those were pay-per-views. But 12 now, it's becoming the standard here. And I got to tell you, I don't like it. Don't like it one bit.
Yeah, well,
unless
that's how they say. Good. Oh, go ahead. I mean,
no,
that's
just
how they say
unless
go to the. Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I think we got a delay. I just wanted to cap off by saying unless the fights are good, unless the cards are stacked.
We'll see. All right. Frank, you want to say something?
Oh, no, I'm saying, I mean, that's why, you never go to the grocery store hungry, right? Because it's like, gimme.
Mm-hmm.
And we're boxing fans, gimme. I want it all. And then they say, well, you got to pay for it. And it's kind of like, eesh. Oh, and I got to put some things back,
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's how they got us, man. They know we want these fights. They know we want to see the big fights. So they figure they can charge us for it.
I mean, they think they're slick, but they'll never be able to out slick me, bro. I'm gonna see the fight and that's gonna pay shit.
Well, there you go. Telkins, you can't pin him down, man. You got him in the corner. You think, there you go. I'm gonna work him. I'm gonna work the body now. Not all of his own. He check left hooks you and spins out of the block, man. That's what he does. You can't.
Like, I'll give you an example. Like, look at Usyk right now. What he's kind of got a problem, right? Because he's his own worst enemy in the sense that he cleaned out a division. So now it's really hard to like, who's going to pay for a Usyk pay-per-view versus Wardley? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, you can't you can't recycle Joshua and Fury because we already seen that. We don't want to pay for that.
His heavyweight resume is light as hell.
No. But I'm saying from a business aspect about the problem that Usyk is in is that he's ran out of opponents that you could sell and get a big marquee name. Like, he beat Joshua, he beat Fury. Maybe Wilder gets a win. They could sell that. But Usyk, I mean, who really is clamoring for any other fights with him?
Yeah, that's a good point, man. That's a good point. Yeah, because Caballero, I mean, again,
big doll now, and it's his obligation to defend against these up and comers, these interim champions that are going to start cashing in for their opportunities. And if he doesn't do that, he's just a cookie puss and a freaking duck.
Well, I mean, that's one opinion right there. Now, I want to say this, though. If Usyk Caballero, if they stack the card, hell yeah, I'm going to buy the pay-per-view. But again, do these guys running the show really expect that it's going to do well on the pay-per-view? But hold on. Tell Cansencos, do the people at the top, the Sheik and all those people, these promoters, do they really think Usyk Caballero in a stacked card is going to sell 500,000 pay-per-views in the U.S.? No. They know it won't. And by the way, I was watching that Smashing Machine with The Rock because it did so poorly at the box office that they put it on digital already. And I'm watching a little bit of it. I didn't even bother to finish it, man. It's just they're trying too hardcore to make it realistic. Like, it's just essentially The Rock playing Mark Kerr and his girlfriend fighting over minutia, over trivialities. Did you put bananas in there? Like, what the fuck? I don't give a fuck. And by the way, they've got Alexander Usyk. They've got Alexander Usyk playing Igor Vovchanchyn. Vovchanchyn was a little short dude for the heavyweight. Meanwhile, Usyk is like 6'3", and then the guy that they hired to play Mark Coleman, he's a UFC guy, Mark something Vader.
Ryan Bader. Yeah.
Ryan Vader. He doesn't even look like Mark Coleman. It's like they just grabbed a bunch of people.
They don't care. I don't think. They're like, nobody will know. I mean, most
one thing that made that movie a lot better is they made it too realistic in the fight scenes. That's where they should have really Hollywood up the fight scenes and made it more entertaining instead of, because
what is knockouts like gayest? What is he like, boring ass knockouts?
Yeah, if you watch the Vovchanchyn and Kerr fight in real life, it's just both chance and getting laid on, and they actually did that in the movie, which was stupid. You should have made, you got the Raw Heavyweight Champion of the World, Usyk, and The Rock fighting. You should have made sure it was a Hollywood blockbuster type of fight scene.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's not what they're going for, right? But
I mean, the movie was alright. You know, the funny thing is, like, there were parts that he actually looked like a little bit like Mike Kurt, but then after a while, it was just like The Rock with a wig and shit.
with a fake nose.
Yeah, I was like, yo, like
it's always
it's
about
like
you. It's always
and also, I don't know if you guys. So since we venturing into spoiler territory, for the guys who haven't watched it, you guys saw the training montage, right? When it's like in the past and shit.
Yeah.
It didn't look like horrible, bro. It's like, bro, like this look like so out of place.
Yeah. Like
he's making the pass like my sister is fighting somebody at the mall.
Yeah, I don't think they were going for realism in terms of the combat thing. They were trying to go with realism for that. That's the thing, though. If you were to ask the guys who made it, they would probably tell you, well, it's not about the fighting. It's about the story. It's like, okay.
I mean, listen.
I can watch the documentary. I can watch the documentary Smashing Machine, which is better than the actual movie so far.
Yep.
I mean, here's the thing, though.
They should have made a movie about Don Fry, dude.
Yeah, I'll watch that.
Hey, don't fry.
The movie was good. The Smashing Machine with The Rocket was good. You know what I mean? Like, it was one of those movies that maybe like later on it would like catch on people. They caught on. They were too involved into like the how you call it? That picture. He just looks like The Rock with a fucking wig and shit.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, they were too focused on the part of like his girlfriend and shit like that, and but they point out a lot of like things in his life.
Is he even still with the bitch?
Yeah, they actually marry and shit.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they're still with each other in real life.
That's fucking dumb, then, dude.
Yeah.
That's why like I was like, bro, like, do you understand like they actually like stayed together after like way after a while, because they actually marry each other, because in the movie they were like just like boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah, they have a son. I think he's like 18 now, but I don't think in real life. I think they finally years ago they got a divorce.
I mean, whatever, man. But I mean, yeah, it's that's the thing, though. If you're talking about boxing, which boxer would deserve a movie? We don't really have that many crazy boxers anymore. When I was watching last year, I was watching that Vice series, Dark Side of the Ring, about wrestling, and a lot of these stories are from the 80s, because those dudes were maniacs. And I'm looking, and then they did Dark Side of the Octagon, which was about, they tried to do the same thing, but with MMA guys. And I thought, oh yeah, it's probably going to be good, because, MMA guys are a little bit like the wrestlers from the 80s. They're crazy. It wasn't really that good. And then I thought, you know what? Don't even try it with boxers, because there's no interesting stories with boxers. The interesting thing happens in the ring, no outside.
The only one they can do is that guy who woke up when his family dead.
And the only interesting one that they can do is a movie about the greatest of all time, Charlie Z.
Yeah, exactly. Are you talking about Valero, by the way, Silverster?
Yeah, Edwin Valero.
Yeah, and people have done great videos about that. Well, actually, I haven't even seen them, but I hear they're good. The videos on YouTube that people have made about it.
I mean, here's the thing, though. You can make boxer movies. It's just like their personal life has to be interesting. Like, for example, the Cinderella Man, the Irish guy.
Mickey Ward.
But, yeah. But you can make movies about guys like Sugar Ray Leonard. If they make one out of George Foreman, you can make one about Sugar Ray Leonard.
They just made one about George Foreman and it sucked.
They made one about Duran and it was fucking terrible. The editing.
Yeah, it's kind of crap.
The thing is, they made the movie about Duran about like just the Ray Leonard fight. Instead of making it
with Usher,
that's what we need.
with a gay Sugar Ray Leonard.
We need that Andre Ward movie, Son of God.
Oh man, Andre Ward.
It's a double negative.
Hey, maybe a fight about one of the Leon Spinks. That one would be good. But then again, who wants to see a buck-toothed or toothless, fucking alcoholic crackhead or whatever he was?
They hit me with body shots and I fought it and I shit myself. Yeah.
But that's the thing, though. Like their life has to be their life has to be like like interested to put in a documentary. Like for example, like Mike Tyson, you can tell him stories like day and night, about his even just like his childhood is fucking interesting.
I want to see a movie just based off of, forget that the fighting and all that. Mike Tyson as a youth in that house out there in the Catskills, under the tutelage of what's his name again?
Oh, no, they don't want to do that shit.
No, you know why though? Because again, we were talking about that. It was Wad Repet who brought up the good point. What was going over there, man? In behind closed doors, fucking Teddy Atlas, that maniac. All of a sudden, that's what I'm saying, right? That's what he was getting at, sexual hypnotism. And I remember sexual hypnosis. I brought that up, and Jimmy was like, "No, I don't think anything like that happened." I said, "Jimmy, how do you know? Were you there?" No, you weren't there. So I'm saying, take that what could have been, take that what if and what could have been, and make a horror movie out of it, like Get Out. The young black kid from the hood. He's trapped in the house with a bunch of old white people. Exactly. You got to survive.
Yeah. You're doing real good out there, Mike. Mow my lawn. Take off your shirt. You look really hot. Yeah. I don't know what he meant at the time. I just thought he thought I was hot, so I took off my shirt.
I can see Tubi making a movie like that. I think called Cussin' Tyson or something, or Cussin' Mike.
Breaking Mike or something.
Right?
Okay, come on.
Like, hey, Mike, you like to snuggle?
Well, that's what Straight G Chulo was telling us on the Second Renaissance about that movie Him, or whatever it's called there, about the football player, and they're talking about initiation rituals and all that. Listen, you know me, I am, look at the Second Renaissance, I'm into that type of stuff. I just don't know how deep he goes into boxing, but look, Canelo, his symbol, his logo, it looks like the Masonic symbol. And then after he beat Golovkin the second time, he starts doing the shh sign. I said, wait a minute, but I can't prove it. That's the thing. I can't prove it. All I can go by is something weird's going on here. So I think boxing would be perfect for that, but I don't think anyone has the balls to touch that subject matter. Cos D'Amato. Think about it. How was Cos D'Amato, an old frail guy, controlling this fucking 60-year-old monster? He's been sexually abused. He's got his brain is all warped. Fucking Teddy Atlas has to put a gun to his temple just to calm him down. Come on, you don't think anything weird was going on there, man?
And he was the only person who could keep him calm. He was in love with him.
Exactly.
He also had a lot of experience controlling young black men. Come on, he did it.
Also, just since you guys point that out, also like it's so obvious that there was something going on, especially like a mental hold on that kid. Well, Mike Tyson was a kid at the time, because as soon as Cus D'Amato died, he lost his shit.
Mm-hmm.
He said that was like drugs, and
Yep.
Yeah.
As he takes someone after work.
What would you do if you lost your lover?
Or he goes after.
Come on, man.
I goes after broken young.
No, yeah, you race overs. I would have lost it too. If I lost my lover, I would have lost it too.
It's like that movie Southpaw, but his wife doesn't die. It's Cus D'Amato,
You know what? I tried watching that Southpaw movie. It wasn't that good, man.
It's fucking terrible, BDA, dude. That movie is.
I never understood why is it called Southpaw.
I'll tell you, because it's spectacularly bad. Why it's called Southpaw. So the whole thing about the movie is he's an undefeated guy. He knocks everybody out, but he's one of these dudes that doesn't know how to fight. They say, we get it, man. You have to get hit, and then you get angry, and then you knock the guy out. Like, he has like white boy rage. That's like his whole ability. He gets beat up, and then he knocks him out in one punch. And then
come on, really?
No, seriously. His wife gets killed by some cholo who's trying to challenge him. Is some other boxer in a press conference, and then he goes down a spiral of like drugs and addiction, like just fucking his life up. And at the end, when he fights the Colombian dude, he's with the new trainer and everything, and they're right there in like the 9th round, and the trainer goes, do the move, go southpaw. And he takes a step forward, he goes southpaw, and he throws like a lead uppercut from the back. Like he throws a fucking right uppercut from southpaw stance. No, he throws a left uppercut from southpaw stance, and he knocks the dude into the air, into the corner, and he knocks him out. It's the dumbest shit ever. But he throws a left uppercut from the southpaw stance, And then like, do the move. Like, what?
And he was just so unprepared for that because he just never fought a left-hander. So he's like, ugh.
Exactly, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like, who's ever fought a southpaw? That's insane. You know, man, I'm at the point in my life, and I've been at this point for years now, where if I see a movie that I don't like, I don't bother with finishing it, man. You know what I'll even do? I'll read the synopsis of the movie beforehand, so I'll know the ending and all that, and I'll say, okay, you know what? Maybe it is worth watching it. And I'll go in there and I'll blank out as if I never read the synopsis, because I can do that. And I'll enjoy the movie. But if I'm not enjoying the movie, fuck it. I don't have to stay there. Well, I already immersed myself in it or invested myself in it, so I got to finish watching it. No, life's too short, man, for some of these dumb movies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like the $1 Million Baby. I like that one. Make me cry.
Yeah,
Didn't they win an Oscar?
The ending zone.
Yep.
Yeah, one best
Speaking
picture.
of a southpaw, Hillary Swank's southpaw. So that's funny.
Now, Southpaw sucked, man. That shit sucked.
Girl fight is
Hillary
pretty
Swank
good.
is the southpaw.
With Michelle, what's her name? Rodriguez something. Girl fight. It's not bad.
Oh yeah. Michelle Rodriguez. Yeah.
It's not bad.
Oh, there was another boxing movie with Smith. What's his name again? Jimmy Smith?
Jimmy Smith?
Yeah, there was a boxing movie a long time ago.
Yeah. With his son, yeah.
Yeah, 3 sons.
There's like 30 Ali movies, just like there's 30 Tyson movies. You know what a great underrated movie is Don King. Don King only in America.
With Rhymes? Wait, which one? Yeah.
Because they don't pull any punches. He comes across as a crook. Like,
they show him as the killer. Like that car blows up. You remember that?
Yeah, they show a card like they indirectly start. Yeah.
Yeah, like somebody like he's a fucking murderer or something.
You know what I do? You know what I dislike about these boxers, these boxing movies, though, is when an A-lister plays a boxer. Whoever is doing the consulting has to always lather these guys up and lick their assholes and say, because I remember Jake LaMotta, he was working with De Niro for Raging Bull, and he actually, there's a quote out there of Jake. I can believe the Raging Bull. He says the real life guy. You know, LaMotta. He goes, De Niro was so good. He could have been. He picked it up like that. He could have been he could have been a world champion. And then you look at him boxing, De Niro in the movie, and it's horrible. You think, okay, LaMotta. Now I understand why they portray you the way they did in the movie. You're an asshole and a liar on top of that. Which just makes it doubly worse. And the guy they chose to play Sugar Ray Robinson, he looks like a fucking zombie. You guys ever see that scene? You never got me down. Pull up the picture.
I know what you're talking about. They got like the most crackhead looking dude they could find.
Yeah, because that's fucking Martin Scorsese on coke for you, man. He's like, well, I see these guys in New York all the time, so I'm just gonna put these guys in there.
It looks like any one of them off the street. Yeah, just grab any one of them.
Oh yeah, I remember this one. Yeah, of course. Yep. I'm gonna show it to you.
You know when he hired the guy, he was doing his. Okay, shout out to Remy7448. Shout out to Remy for his contribution with the super chat. And he says, salute BDA. If they make Sugar Ray Leonard, I want to see his drug use in detail, along with his womanizing ways in detail. Just saying. Well, first of all, Remy, shout out to you for your contribution. I'm glad you didn't say that you want to see another scene of his life in detail.
I was saying, what about the infamous...
No.
The talk he had before the Olympics with his coach.
Oh, come on. There was more than talking going on. There was a lot of hands-on talking. If you catch my drift, a lot of hands-on training. Yeah, nobody wants to see that in detail, believe me. But yeah, shout out to Remy for his contribution. Did you add the picture there?
Yes, sir. Hold on.
I'm on delay, so I can see it.
Okay.
Dude,
yeah, look at that guy, dude.
He looks like that's some fire from what is it, Captain something, Captain Jack? What?
Yeah, I'm the captain now.
Yeah, he's got a receding hairline and everything. Come on, they did Leonard dirty.
Captain Phillips.
Look at that. That's Sugar Ray Robinson had the caulk on top of that. What the black guys used to do back in the day, the caulk or whatever they call it, where they straightened the hair. That's what he had. He didn't have that.
Yeah, perm. Or relaxer, right?
Yeah, because he relaxes white people. That's what they used to say. But yeah, look at that. It's Martin Scorsese, when he hired this dude, he was doing his monologue for Taxi Driver. Remember that when he goes, "You know who lives there? You know who lives there?" And he says the N-word a bunch of times. That's what he was doing to this guy. Probably terrorized him on set all the time. It looks nothing like Sugar Robinson, man.
Look at this. Like, how the fuck? Oh my God, holy
man.
shit.
Oh,
This guy looks more like the Crypt Keeper than fucking.
They did Robinson dirty.
yeah, really, man.
So it just shows that Martin Scorsese is a racist. He picked the ugliest motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, man, now you're too good looking to play. Oh no, you're perfect. You're perfect.
No, uglier. Find me an uglier one. Yeah.
He says the N word.
Let's take it right. He's like, oh, no,
Find me an uglier end. Yeah.
He's like, they can't find anybody. All right, let's take a drive downtown. You know, it's like they go through the alleys.
Yeah, they pick the guy up the alley.
With no shoes on, they walk over to him. You look like you can be a boxer. Look at you, you're skinny and everything.
Hey, Mister, you got 25 cents? You want a job?
Oh man.
My goodness gracious. Yeah, that's a raging bull for you. But anyway, what else is in the news, man?
Let's see.
Whoa, got 8 million. Is everybody happy?
About what?
The what now?
About what?
The Guo. She got 8 milli. I guess she's.
I feel like that's a lie.
It's
yeah, it's gonna be a lie. You know what? If you would have told me she's gonna get 800,000 per fight, I thought that would have been a lie too, man.
I'm like, damn, good for her.
8 million. Yeah, exactly, 8 million. Come on. But by the way, they did say an $8 million contract, so maybe it's about 20 fights. The contract.
They're saying like 20. They're saying like 2 million per fight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's a 4-fight contract.
Who the fuck is she gonna fight for that money?
What's the name of that British broad that
Keith
she
Thurman?
fought? Oh, I'd pay for that, man. I'd pay
Keith
for that.
Thurman's
Keith
got one
Thurman.
arm tied behind his back and he's going to be injured, so to make it interesting.
Exactly, yeah.
They stab
Keith
him in the back,
one-time Thurman.
like in Gladiator, before they send him in there.
Inside the hospital.
Hey, man, I was actually looking forward to Keith Thurman versus Fundora a little bit,
Yep.
especially after that press conference. Like, Keith one-time Thurman, I'm coming here to fight.
Then duck me, son.
With the fucking list.
Does he really sound like that?
Yeah, that's Keith Thurman. He's got a bit of a lisp.
He got a lift, man.
T-Rex arms.
I remember. I think
T-Rex arms.
I think it was after the I think it was after one of his fights. I think he's I don't know if his tongue was swollen or something. He was like, "Don't duck me, son. Don't duck me, son." I was like, "Yo, somebody give me I don't know, an anti-inflammatory some shit."
An uppercut made him bite his tongue. That's what it was.
I mean, think about it. When he fought Sean Porter, that was 10 years ago.
Yep.
Damn.
10 years ago. It's a whole, that's a different, in boxing terms, that's a different generation. Because a lot of times these guys are over by the time they're 35. So when these guys are in their mid-20s, that's a different generation. Now you got guys like Abdullah Mason, Kid Schofield, Shakur Stevenson. Those are different generation guys.
I mean, put it this way, BDA, Obama, I think, was still a president.
Yo.
Yeah. That's true. That is.
Yeah, because Trump took the
office election.
Took over in 2016, right?
That's right. That's right.
Well, early 2017, technically, but yeah.
Hey, by the way, Remy in the chat saying Hands of Stone was a good movie. Those pics, though. Yeah, well,
Hands of Stone was good. I didn't see it, man.
he's being sarcastic.
Ah, okay.
It was. I mean, as far as boxing movies go, it was aight.
Or they're making this fucking Chrissy Martin movie. Did you guys see the trailer to that? I think they got Sydney Sweeney playing.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense either. She's way too hot.
Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah.
The new princess of white supremacy. I don't like her.
Hey, by the way,
she's a nice queen, BDA.
I don't
Nice
mind,
one,
man.
yeah.
I don't mind. She's hot. She could be whatever she fucking wants, man.
I agree.
You guys are just haters.
Super fight between Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson. It's targeted for late January.
That's a super fight.
Wait, it's a super. They're already saying it's gonna probably take place January 31.
31. Well, so that's about 3 months, right? I mean, because we're already in November. Yeah, so we got all of November left, December, and all of January. Yeah, I can see something in January.
I mean, that's fine.
I guess
But I mean, the fight itself.
Yeah, in New York. New York.
The only reason this fight is interesting is because it would be for the real championship of the world, not the fucking undisputed 4-belt, 5-belt. No, this is the real one. Forget all the belts. This is the real one. But in terms of the fight itself, I remember Dan Canobio said that it was going to be, I think he even said boring. And people gave him shit for it. And I'm thinking, well, wait a minute, he's right. Who's really thinking that it's going to be a fun fight to watch or aesthetically pleasing to watch?
Two counter punchers, yeah. They're going to be feigning at each other most of the fight. 10 punches thrown around.
Mm-hmm. If that. We'd be lucky if we get 10 punches per round.
There's going to be more faces and frowns, and they're probably going to be talking shit more than they fight.
Okay, but...
Exactly, yeah.
Go ahead.
It's a fight we want to see, right?
Yeah, but with him, even after the Zepeda fight, he had the nerve to say, I'm never fighting like that again. I mean, I'm paracoating.
He traumatized. What the fuck?
He basically said that. Yeah, he was saying,
He said, don't expect me to do that all the time. Like, what do you mean? No?
As if he was in some sort of war. I mean, sure, he was in trouble in the he was struggling a little bit in the first part of the fight. After that, he was just leaning on the ropes, and he figured out that guy was too small for him. You know what I mean? He wasn't a danger. I think he's saying this because he knows that if he moves up to 140, I mean, he can't be laying on the ropes like that. So,
but against Teofimo Lopez, Teofimo Lopez is a horrible pressure fighter. So you know they're gonna just be standing in the middle of the ring. Shakur Stevens is gonna be leaping back because that's all he can do. Yeah, or like Food TV says, Bedoink. That's gonna be that type of fight. Bedoink fight. And Teofimo Lopez, he's just gonna be standing. But that's the thing, though. It's Shakur Stevens is gonna be fighting defensively. He's gonna be doing his best not to engage, and I think it's gonna be another De Los Santos fight.
Yep.
High chances of it being a
match. Yep.
Exactly. And for him to say, he got traumatized from that Zepeda fight because Zepeda hurt him early, and it wasn't as easy a fight as some people like to make it out to be. So now Shakur Stevens is like, holy shit, now what do I do? And now there's pressure from Turki Al-Sheikh saying, hey, man, and that's it. That's the worst thing about this. Shakur Stevens is going to go in there, and for the 17th time, he's going to say, I'm going to put belt to ass. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to blah, blah. And then what's he going to do? Throw 5 punches per round. And then at the end say, I won the fight. I remember after the Conceição fight where he hit the Conceição with about 30 low blows. They were the judges were taking their time to read the scorecards. And Shakur Stevenson was freaking out. He was telling his trainers, why are they taking so much? How long? Why are they taking so long? I won the fight, right? They started having Olympic flashbacks because he thought they were going to take it from him. And thinking, man, come on, man, this dude is not even that. He speaks with a lot of confidence, but that's almost like the dogs you see in the street. The little chihuahuas are always barking. The ones that are scared the most are the ones that bark the most. And that's what he is. Little chihuahua. Barking all the time. He doesn't.
His excuse is his brittle hands. His excuse is his hands because after the Zepeda fight, he probably should have fought again this year, but he said, no, I'm going to need time for my hands. So he has it out. And then what I seen on social media, his fans, whatever fans he has or boxing fans were like, yeah, you showed him you don't ever have to fight like that again. Like these guys were, the boxing journalist Shields were like, oh, that was a master class. He doesn't have to prove anything again. That's what gets me is that they say he doesn't have to prove anything. He already proved it. I said,
it's pugilistic erotica.
Huh?
It's pugilistic erotica. They take something that didn't. They concoct something that didn't happen, and they get a sexual reaction from it.
Yeah, I mean, was it a master class? I think it was a decent. It was better. Basically, that's how his last performances were so bad that made that look like Gotti Ward. If you give
exactly.
So his fans go, oh yeah, he stood and traded, but I didn't really see any sequences that he traded in the middle of the ring.
There you go. By the way, shout out to in the chat. Shout out to Remy for his contribution with the super chat. He says, "Question: who can be the next face of boxing?" Well, you know what? That's a subject that we've been looking over for the past 3 weeks now. Who do you guys think who has the most potential to be the next face of boxing?
Shakur.
Xander does, man. I mean, he's
really.
You got to check all the boxes, right? And pause, but you got to be good looking somewhat. You can't be an Ugmo. You know what I mean? If you're an Ugmo, it's really hard to be a face of boxing.
Did you think Manny Pacquiao, like, again, I don't, we're guys here, so who knows what, we don't judge guys by the look, but do you think Manny Pacquiao, what was the deal with him that he was...
But he was Filipino. It was a novelty.
Right. It's almost like, yeah, I get what you're saying. Because also he had, that's one of the things we keep talking about here is what makes a star. And you know what? I used to say, because we always talk about how it has to be a combination of things. Just being entertaining, that doesn't always help. Or just being good doesn't help, because if you're boring, you're good, but you're boring, then chances are you're not gonna sell. And then sometimes I go, well, who really knows what makes a good fighter? But you know what? I started thinking about it, and they do the same thing in Hollywood. For a long time now, one of the big adages was nobody knows anything in Hollywood. Nobody knows anything. And somebody wrote an article about that, how saying that's a cop-out. That's a cop-out saying, oh, well, nobody knows anything. No, bullshit. There are people who know, but the whole nobody knows anything is sometimes it might be used as a cop-out or as an excuse to keep the line of power in place, the status quo. And sometimes I think, well, is that the case in boxing? But I don't think it's quite the same thing, because boxing needs stars. You know what I mean? Hollywood already, they do whatever the fuck they want because they're successful for the most part. There's always people still watching movies.
Stanky Davis is a novelty because he's like a midget, right?
Right. Well, he was a novelty.
That's a novelty because he's a midget.
Well,
go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say, who still has the potential to be the face of boxing, and he doesn't even have to be winning every fight. Ryan Garcia, because you have someone like Gervonta Davis right there trying to push him, but he's kind of shown who he is on the inside, right? He's not really about it. He doesn't really want to fight unless he has every advantage in his favor. You know what I'm saying? He won't fight everybody. Ryan's kind of already shown he'll fight anybody, right? He's fought Gervonta Davis. He lost. This was a big fight. He fought Devin Haney. He beat him up. You know what I mean? So if Ryan can fight everybody, if he can show that he has no fear and fight everybody, they'll all be somewhat successful. You know what I mean? If he can get his shit together, I'm not saying this is going to happen, right? But if he were to get his shit together and just focus on boxing, whatever, he could win some, lose some, and he'll still sell really well. And he's famous enough that he could carry the sport. Right,
you're right,
but,
and he can sell a fight. Although when it came to the what's his name again, Rolly Romero fight, he didn't really try to sell that shit. But in previous events, he sells the fights, and this is important as well because Tank Davis wasn't selling the Jake Paul fight, and now that the fight's not happening, Jake Paul started talking, telling the truth. He's like, this guy, he's terrible. He doesn't even try to promote the fight. Remember during those press conferences, he wasn't saying shit.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't
still. Well, so Sobers, what did you think about that? That the fact that Jake Paul, all of a sudden, he goes, when these allegations came out against Tank Davis, Jake Paul goes, he's a piece of trash, blah, blah, blah. I'm not giving him attention or money. Yeah. But we already knew that about Tank Davis. He already knew that. He even brought it up during the press conference. So what do you think happened here, Sobers? Do you think the fight just wasn't selling well? Or what do you think about Jake Paul, too, being sort of a two-face?
Maybe, I don't think he's being a two-face, right? Because I don't think he's a troll. You know what I'm saying? He's a YouTube troll. Jake Paul's a YouTube troll. And so you can take him as serious as you take Pigeon. So
wait a minute. I take him seriously.
Okay.
Pigeon, that is.
By the way, guys, hit the like. We need to get those numbers up. It's embarrassing.
What I'm saying though, so he saw okay, it's not going well. He's got these things going on. Maybe Gervonta Davis's camp was saying, oh, maybe we don't like the situation. We're gonna pull out, whatever, right? So he says, we're just gonna cut it right here. I'm just gonna cut ties right now, and I'm using this as an excuse. That was the catalyst, right? So this is my excuse to shit on you and just to cut ties and try to fix it and try to salvage the event however I can, right? Because it must have been terrible if if they couldn't even if he's willing to fight Fury in 2 weeks' notice, right?
Right. Because that's what Steve Kim brought up. He said on the 3 knockdown rule, he goes, would they have been as quick in canceling this fight or postponing, whatever the case may be, if we would have been selling well? Let's say the place would have been sold out. Would they have been as quick to pull the trigger in canceling it?
You know what Jake Paul would have done? If they would have said, we don't know if we're going to have the fight. He has to go to court, whoop-de-whoop. But you know what? I'm going to take it out of the law. I'm going to put the law in my own hands. And I'm going to knock him the fuck out for his baby mama. Man. And blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? And he could have hit that angle. Right? But they didn't. Something else must have been wrong.
By the way, shout out,
yeah. Go ahead.
You read it.
Shout out to Remy. Thank you for your super chat. Really appreciate it. He said Virgil, Boots, Bam, Keyshawn, Garcia, next phase. okay, he's giving us 4 names here. We're Virgil. What about Virgil, guys? He's almost 30. That's the thing, though, as well. I'm saying it's impossible, but I'm just saying that's, yeah.
I don't think so. He doesn't have the personality. He just doesn't. You know, he's more. I guess somebody on Twitter he basically said he doesn't like to be in the public spotlight because I guess, and he posted a screenshot of somebody wishing he would die. He said, "This is why I don't come out and interact with you guys."
Come on, like Jesus.
Yeah, you didn't see that? You guys didn't see that? Yeah, it was.
No, but I remember he told some reporter like, telling lies. I'm not gonna talk to you. It's like, okay, you need to promote yourself. You need access to this to the people. You need to talk to the people. You can't just hide and expect everybody to know you. Like, no, he's crazy.
Hey, by the way, can I just ask something? Go ahead, Frank. Go ahead.
No, go.
I just wanted to ask people in the chat if they're watching the Pro Box card. What is this I'm hearing that they're using AI images or something, and people are complaining about it in the chat. I missed it, so I don't know what they're talking about. But if somebody in the chat can let me know exactly what the issue is. But hey, Sober, somebody in the chat is saying that people are making diss songs about you. What the hell is that about now? What's going on now?
I don't know. I guess I'm getting into rap battles now. I didn't know about that. I got rap beats.
You know what? I hate those fucking, what do they call them? Epic rap battle, or what do they call it on YouTube where they go
those are so terrible. That's so Slane Wigger shit. Yeah. Like, bro, get a life.
The thumbnails themselves, I go, who is going to look at this and click on it? I'm sorry. But Keyshawn, somebody said, Remy said Keyshawn. I mean, Keyshawn, I don't think he's got the keys to the yard. I think he's got the keys to the loony asylum. It's probably where he's headed, unless he steps it up, man. But look, boxing needs as many power punches as he can, and he's a power puncher. So hopefully he can get his act together because we need the less ass fighters around, the better.
Yeah, and fans, I think fans mistake being good at something for thinking these guys that they even want to be a face of boxing. It could just be a job to them. I'd say 8 out of 10 fighters, it's strictly a job. They don't give a fuck about the fans. They don't care about the media. Like Oscar, he came across as he's a diva, but he wanted to be a superstar, you know? So he was going to do advertisements. He's going to sing an album because he had that inner desire to be a star. Same with Floyd Mayweather. I mean, you know, he wanted to be a face of boxing. He was willing to do the 24/7s and things like that. And then you watch Virgil and Boots do the 24/7s and they're just not playing the part.
But you see, that's the difference, though. You know, when you were talking about Ryan Garcia, he's got the talent, the physical talent, the speed, power. That's physical talent, but he doesn't have that drive that you were talking about. With Mayweather, De La Hoya, you rarely see some of these guys looking bad. You know, like, and when I say looking bad, it's looking bad because you could tell they didn't take their opponent seriously. We've seen Ryan Garcia have about 3 or 4 of those type of fights, and then he always blames somebody else. You know, my trainer. You know, they were kids. You know, he actually blamed Joe Goosen for having kids in the gym. Like, why are there little kids running in the gym?
Gas kids running around with their snot noses. I'm trying to
exactly
take bag. They're trying to share the bags with me, take photos. Get out.
Why the fuck? Get out of here. He's also
over. Get out of here.
Ryan's the living room champ. And I get what you mean, because De La Hoya would have never showed himself training in his living room in pajamas. Like, he just never he understood optics.
Can you imagine he complaining about, you know, one time I had 3 lines, and one of the keys just rolled over and, you know, messed up my 3 lines, man. Can you believe that shit? My 3 Nike lines, man. Shit.
By the way, are you Are you in a printing shop or something? I hear a bunch of printers going off in the background.
Nah, that's my 3D printer. My bad.
That's your what?
Printer, I think.
3D printer. My bad. I'm gonna mute myself.
Yeah, I knew. You're
printing a gun.
He's 3D printing a gun.
No.
He's printing his newsletter where he talks about the 6 million and, you know, how it wasn't really 6 million, but anyway. Well, no,
allegedly.
He doesn't want,
okay, allegedly.
He doesn't want the publicity.
We don't want to. Okay, my name is Mirage.
Hey, you know what?
Benavides.
A good Halloween costume is a Mark Kerr costume.
Yeah. Halloween.
The fake nose and the greasy hair. Yeah.
My name is.
What was that haircut?
My name is Mirage, of course. Yeah, whatever he said. Yeah.
What was that haircut? What was that haircut that Kerr had? Was that what do they call it? Jerry curl, or because it looked like it was all wet all the time?
Mark Kerr.
Yeah.
It's like the Michael Jackson.
Yeah, like
the early days.
I think it was like I think it was like one of those things, was cool at the time.
But I'm sorry, not the real Mark Kerr. I'm talking about the rock play Mark Kerr. What type of style is that supposed to be?
Oh no, I don't know. I think they just put like some Chinese noodles on his head, and
Yeah, that looked disgusting, man. He was always sweating, and it was always the hair was always wet. I don't know. A weird movie, that's for sure. I mean, if people want to, I think when I again, I left it at the middle. I stopped watching it, but when I left it, I said, you know what? Now I realize why it bombed at the box office. Maybe a bunch of people went to see it at first for the novelty, but then the word of mouth, which you can never really fully stop. I think it just got out and said, hey, this movie, nothing happens in this movie.
Yeah.
It's that type of film.
No, yeah. The word of mouth travels pretty fast, and it's more reliable.
Oftentimes.
I mean, people trust more word of mouth than any advertisement, whatever, Somebody tells you, hey, you should buy this shit. You're probably going to, more likely that you're going to buy it.
What else we got in the news, man? Anything else going on?
Yes. Well, Shakur, you guys aren't excited about Shakur against Teofimo Lopez.
I mean, it's a good fight. It's just we know that it has a high chance to be a snoozer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's still a good fight. It's meaningful, but
Ryan Garcia nears the deal for WBC welterweight title fight against Mario Barrios. This is from Mike Coppinger from Ring Magazine. What do you guys think about that?
Would you guys be surprised? Yeah, that's the thing. Would you guys be surprised if Barrios can beat Ryan Garcia, if he can pull it off?
Yes, I wouldn't be surprised. No, I wouldn't be surprised.
I would be surprised. I mean,
really?
Well, yeah, because I think Mario Barrios isn't that good. I mean, he struggled with geriatric.
But no. Listen, if Ryan Garcia comes in there 100%, whatever, and focus and he beats this guy. Now he comes in there not fully prepared, not 100%. I can see him just losing that fight. But he's better than Barrios. He's better than Barrios, of course.
But see what you just said. If he comes in at 100%, how many times did we hear that with other fighters?
Okay, what happened with the Rolly Romero fight? Yeah, exactly. How many times have we said like, well, if he comes 100% in the Rolly Romero fight, guys? What do you think happened in that fight? Did he come 100%? Was he scared about Romero's power? What happened?
He said he was injured. That was his excuse.
What was the injury?
No, I think. I just think Romero had his number. I don't think it was any excuses that he can,
Mm-hmm.
I think Romero, as idiotic and crazy and goofy he can be, even in sparring sessions that we saw before, we can tell that he had Ryan Garcia's number. Because he was part of the fight that Ryan Garcia wasn't doing shit. He wasn't throwing punches. He wasn't fainting.
Both guys
doing nothing.
didn't do that much, to be honest.
Because the thing is, I think, how you call it? Because that's one of the good things when you know your opponent. Like, for example, Romero knows that Ryan Garcia gets a punch eye when he gets hit hard. Like he just gets, he gets
Yo, you still printing?
Punches. All day, baby.
The fuck are you printing? No, I'm serious. Now I'm curious what the fuck you're printing. It's nonstop. You a laser printer in the back.
I'm actually printing something for my car. Actually, printing a spoiler.
Yeah. There you go. Are you not the one of those guys that drives around with a car plastered with the Jews in 9/11 and a bunch of nonsensical text?
Oh fuck no.
Okay. Because I used to do that. But by the way, shout out to Just Brian.
That's me.
Yeah, you don't steal my grift. Don't ever come to Montreal, Canada with that, because that's my grift. Just Brian.
I would try not to.
Shout out to Just Brian in the chat says, did you guys talk about the DAZN news? Yes, indeed, Just Brian. We talked about it early in the show. And just to recap for you, if you want, what we were talking about was essentially the problem here with DAZN is that it's going to be almost double the price. But on top of that, you get the 12 pay-per-views per year. That's what they're gunning for, 12 pay-per-views. So you get it all for $540 per year. That's what you get. And we were talking about how if those fights are good, the pay-per-views are stacked, then there's no complaint. But if if those 12 pay-per-views comprise the level of fights like Dylan White versus Aitama and Fabio versus Joseph Parker, then nah, that's no good, no bueno.
Well, the problem is that they're full of shit. They're gonna make pay-per-views again.
Well,
and at this point, they would just have sucked you into playing $40 a month or $50 a month, and then charge you. Well, I mean, it's a pay-per-view, right? But we're just going to charge you $40 for this one, right? So you know what I mean? That's what it's going to be.
And then we're
and then they try to hit you with this, right? Oh, get in now so you can get grandfathered in, and the price won't change because it's going to change. That's what they said when the DAZN started, and it was $12, right?
Yep.
So yeah, they're full of shit.
Hey, well, at least it's not $80, and then we're going to talk ourselves into buying it.
So they want to lock you in for 12 pay-per-views. They want to lock you in for 2 pay-per-views. $50.
Yeah, but the thing is, looking at, of course, it's a travesty when you're looking at, we're only paying because we're only watching boxing through DAZN. But remember, guys, DAZN has a contract with the NFL. So I think that's mostly because they have the exorbitant increase of prices. Because I don't really think it's because of boxing. All of a sudden they got too expensive.
He's fucking Severino's printing a bunch of anime news pictures in the
background. He's printing hentai. Yeah, exactly.
He's like, no, it's my business, man. It's my business. He has a bunch of hentai and shit.
I've been coughing right, so I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm printing Sakura card catcher. Full.
Somebody else in the chat, because we were talking about Garcia versus Rolly Romero and what happened with Garcia. Retro Gamer said the Cuban coach had the better game plan with Rolly. Yeah, I think that's just what happened too. I think Ryan Garcia sticking with Derek James. What was his name? No, who was he with that fight? Was it Derek James was still in his corner or?
Yeah, I think he was.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, Derek James. And Derek James, look, he did a good job with Errol Spence and with Charlo and Frank Martin. But man, come on. But seems to be Ismail Salas seems to be on another level when it comes to strategizing for specific fighters and for specific fights, because he just has. I mean, the success he's. We often say on this show, how do you judge whether someone's a good trainer when they can get the most out of their fighter? It doesn't matter who, like that Argentinian trainer, I forget what his name was, but he took Carlos Baldomir and made him a champion. And he also worked with Carlos Monzon. So no matter who he worked with, despite the degree of talent or lack thereof, he always got the best out of them. And maybe they wouldn't become undisputed champ for 5-7 years or 20 title defenses, but they got there when normally other coaches probably wouldn't have gotten them there. So I think that Salas falls in the same category.
I agree. No, that's how you should judge a trainer, based on how much he can get out of a boxer. Yep.
Food TV says the huge cartoon tits take up a long time to print. Yeah, I think that's what's going on, man. Oh, now we don't hear it. Now Sobers brought up the whole hentai thing. All of a sudden, the printer stuff. Stop production.
I just moved away from the printer.
Oh, okay.
Because you guys been talking so much shit.
Oh, there you go. I hear him again. What the fuck? You're back.
Oh, you see. Anyhow,
but Ryan Garcia's too inconsistent, man. That's the thing with him. That's why he's never gonna be. I don't think he's ever gonna be the face of boxing. He might be one of the biggest names, but the face of boxing.
If he could fast track that whole. I mean, he has a lot of the requisites to become like the face of boxing. Yep.
Like the face of boxing, they have to go. I think these guys, they have to fight each other. Whoever, is going to be left standing is going to be like the face of boxing. Either the face of boxing or because I don't really think these guys have the personality to be somebody like Canelo or Mayweather or Oscar De La Hoya. I think they're just going to be like cash cows, somebody with a name that they can make money off of. But I think the era of a superstar boxer, I think the era is done. I think the last one was Anthony Joshua and those type of guys. But
you might be right, man.
Of superstars, man.
You might be right, because the boxing business has changed so much. That's what we were talking about. One of the prerequisites for being a star is you got to fight often. These guys don't fight often anymore. Look at Abdullah Mason. He's one of the up-and-coming prospects. If you look at his early career trajectory, I think he fought maybe 3-4 times per year, and now he's down to about 3 times per year. pretty soon he's only going to be fighting twice per year.
Because they're allowed to do that. So you remove
think that's
that
what it is? You
freedom.
think they don't want to fight?
Remove that freedom. Maybe we start getting what we want, right?
So you think they don't want to fight often?
Of course not. And especially if they're getting paid millions of dollars. No, of course not. Remember, Danny Garcia and his father, Angel Garcia, they were saying, why would we take a risk like that? We're getting paid. Remember that? At some point he said that?
Mm-hmm.
About a fight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think he's the only one that thinks like that? Oh, no. Everybody, all other boxers and trainers and their fathers are like, no.
You know what? You're right.
We don't respond.
You're right.
We don't operate like that. Of course they do. A lot of them do. Most of them do. That's what we get, what we get. That's what we get, what we get. I mean, come on. Do you think these guys, I want to fight 3 times a year? No, they don't. I mean, sure, if they're not boxing and if they're not getting paid, then they do want to fight.
Right.
But if they somehow get 2 fights per year and getting a bunch of millions of dollars, you don't see them complaining.
That's the X factor right there. They're getting paid for a lot for just two nights a year. Then, yeah, you're right. Then those guys go, wait, what?
Well, one thing, don't be surprised if they try to make Devin Haney the face of boxing again if he's successful against. Yeah, if he's successful against Norman, they're already talking about he's number 4.
Undefeated.
Yeah,
champion, Walter, 3-division champion, right? I guess he would be a 3-division champion. Yep.
Yeah, they're gonna try to force him as a face of boxing again. I mean, they already tried. Ryan ruined it, but if he beats Brian Norman, they're gonna try to force feed him again.
Well, Pacquiao, they're gonna look for that Pacquiao fight. I have a belt. You want a belt? Come and get it.
Well, that's another guy. You think Brian Norman can somehow build a name up for himself where he could be the next face? Because imagine if he just knocks out Devin Haney. That's a guy that a lot of people in the boxing world hate, and if you just see him just flatline him, he's gonna get a lot of love for that.
If he does what he did to Sasaki, right? If he snaps his head off the ground and he just froze his stiff.
He's actually 2 years.
Yeah, people would love that shit. Yeah.
He's from ATL, which is considered Black Hollywood. So he's from the market. So.
Yeah.
But is that a big? I don't
get Evander Holyfield endorse him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just as a boxing head, I don't give him credit for beating Haney. To me, he's damaged goods.
What?
Yeah, but the casuals, they might not like him. So this dude.
If he puts the nail in the coffin in his career, bro, you got to give him credit.
Come on, man. I don't want to put it that way. I just don't think I don't rate Norman high because I don't think he's fought anybody.
Okay.
But
who do you have in that fight? Who do you have in that fight?
I got Norman, obviously, but I keep saying this, man. Don't be surprised if Haney can get up 6-2, 4-2, and jab and grab away to victory. He has the ability to stink the joint out to the point that he can win.
That's the problem with Haney. He's so fast that he can stall the fight to his favor, to his advantage, and just stink the joint out. And, Butcher, you brought up the point that isn't that a slap to the face for Turki Al-Sheikh if he does it again?
Yeah, of course. I mean, he said no more Tom and Jerry. So I don't know what will happen if Haney runs like a little bitch.
Running and clinching, don't forget. It's not just the running. It's clinching.
He might not win. He might not win.
Hey, maybe Turkey's going to put a referee.
What if they take the decision from him if he fights like that?
People say that, but look, William Skull could almost beat Canelo. Wasn't it 115, 113? I mean, it was like Canelo barely beat William Skull.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I'm hoping that look, listen, we had Zach Parker versus Joshua Buatsi, and Zach Parker clearly won that fight, but because he clinched so much, I don't know. I mean, I guess the judges, I don't know what happened. Maybe the judges only got some common sense and said, you know what? All this clinching, we ain't going to give you the decision, buddy boy. And hopefully they do that with Haney, if indeed Haney goes within that fight with that type of game plan.
You know what's funny, BDA, also? That even though this is Haney's 3rd division, he still looks bigger than Norman.
I mean, right?
People are saying that. I have to check the picture, but I wouldn't be surprised. This guy's fucking big. You see the pictures? I'm going to post the pictures again.
Not even in the whole fiasco when his bodyguard grabbed him and he stabbed by the shirt or some shit. When they were talking, when they're face to face, they were about to kiss each other. You clearly can see Haney looking down at Norman. So Norman is probably 5'6", 5'5". He's a small welterweight.
Well, Norman got dropped by Boca Chico, a scrub, nobody. Yeah, Boca Chico got dropped.
A hard hitting Puerto Rican, okay?
That's right. And he looked horrible against Quinton Randall. Now more and more people I'm starting to see on Twitter, more and more people are starting to bring up that fight and saying, well, if Norman couldn't beat Quinton Randall decisively, how the fuck is he going to beat Haney? And it's not so much a question of beating. It's, again, how do you deal with the clinching? Because that's what Quinton Randall was doing throughout the night. Also that he was rolling, he did that little like makeshift Philly shell, but there was a lot of clinching. A lot of clinching. And I don't know if Norman, I'll never be surprised by how much a guy underestimates his opponent. Because I'm pretty sure you look at Haney, you know what he's going to do. He's going to dip below the waist. He's going to run. He's going to throw 5 punches at a time, and he's going to clinch. Some of these guys go in there, and it's almost like they think that that's legal. So they don't go in there with a plan of telling the ref, hey, listen, watch for the clinching. This guy's going to clinch. Please warn him and then show him it's against the rules. Show him the rule book from the Association of Boxing Commissions or the IBA and the WBO and the WBA. Fuck the WBC when they say, well, it's only excessive clinching that's illegal. No, fuck that. They're even tacitly admitting that the clinching is illegal. So that's what a boxer should do. They should be prepared. They should put the pressure on these guys, but they don't. They go in there and, Brian Norman, I hope this doesn't happen. I hope he doesn't go in there thinking, well, if Ryan Garcia could drop him 3 times and hurt him multiple times and make him shit his pants, then I'm going to run through him. And the next thing you know, he doesn't know how to deal. He's getting clinched. He doesn't know what to do. He starts looking at the ref. He starts looking like it's his fault that he can't deal with it. No, it's the other guy's fault that he's clinching. If he clinches you, fucking throw him to the ground. Try to, do what Lomachenko used to do and Golovkin, where they try to pull the arms out. And, you can hurt yourself doing that sometimes, though. But it's better than just standing there and letting the fight go on, man.
The thing is, no, you're absolutely right. But Norman can go in and expect, I'm gonna do the same that Ryan Garcia. They just left hook, snap my left hook and pretty much, knock him out.
Yeah. Hopefully that's not the plan, man.
Hopefully not, because the thing is, something that stands out to me, because I was there at the Barclays, is the fact that Ryan Garcia was just like a better physical specimen than what's his name, than Haney. He was faster, he was bigger, he was stronger. The advantages that Haney usually has when he goes into the ring, but he didn't have none of those went to the fight, because when he always tried to pull out of his opponent after he jabs, he's taking advantage that he's faster than his opponents, right? He's faster to the trigger, but Ryan Garcia kept on catching him because Ryan was faster than him. So that was the one of the nails in the coffin of what happened to him in that fight. Even though I think that Haney, outside of him getting knocked down those 3 times, I think he won majority of the rounds. But the thing is that fear of God that Ryan Garcia put in his ass, you can tell he was scared as shit to throw punches. That, and he implemented his strategy of jab and clinching. After a while, he was out of ideas.
Well, he was scared shitless because he got the shit kicked out of him, literally. I mean,
yeah, but also like Norman has like a how you call it, T-Rex arms. He has like a 68 reach or something like that. He has a small reach.
He actually has a longer reach than Devin Haney. I think he's got like a 72-inch reach.
Nah, that's bullshit. He has more arms.
Oh, he's got a longer reach.
And at the end of the day, you can have longer reach, but if you have short legs, you don't really do nothing.
I think Haney actually has like a longer reach.
Yeah, but Haney's still taller,
I think they're around the same.
Nah. Remember when they had the whole
1 inch
confrontation? Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, but you can just follow like the quote unquote reach.
They've got Brian Norman listed as being 5'8" with a 72-inch reach, and they've got Haney being, hold on a second. So like I said, 5'8", 72, and they got Haney being 5'8" as well with a 71-inch reach.
Yeah, exactly.
I would have thought that Haney had the longer arms, because usually but now
man, I think right there that's bullshit.
That's just that Norman.
When he fought the Puerto Rican guy, he looked smaller than him.
So
Brian Norman. Yeah, Brian Norman looked like he could fight on the inside against Santillan. So he can fight on the inside, but can he fight chest to chest? Like when Haney starts clinching him and molesting him, is Norman going to be able to fight him off that way? Like
what's funny, BDA, that Well, how was the thing? Because I think Santillan beat Alex.
Rocha.
Yeah, he beat Alex Rocha, right? Because he was the bigger welterweight, and then he fought an even bigger welterweight, and Brian Norman, and this is pretty much what happened. You know, because Brian Norman, he just rolled over his ass. Like, it was nothing technical or fancy. He just rolled over him.
Well, that's the thing though about Ryan Norman. He's only 24, by the way. Haney is a veteran compared to this dude. That's the thing though. So we've never really seen Brian Norman fight a guy, like I said, who's as crafty as Haney. And when I say crafty, I'm not saying Haney's some sort of technical genius, but at least compared to some of the other guys that Norman has fought, yeah, I guess you could say he's in a whole other level. And the other thing about Norman is that despite the fact he's only 24, he hasn't exactly been the most active guy. In 2023, he fought 3 times. Okay, that's good, even though it wasn't really anybody of note. 2022, he fought twice. And by the way, when he fought Santillan, that was in May. He didn't fight the rest of the year. Then he fights in 2025 against Derek Cuevas, who essentially quit. Then he had the Jin Sasaki fight earlier this, almost in the summer. And that's it. So he hasn't been that active and hasn't been exactly fighting the...
That was my point. I mean, look, I hope he wins and ends the Haney's career, but I'm not really high on Brian Norman. It's not like he ran through welterweight or Santillan was just a punching bag. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know why people were high on Santillan. I never was high on him. I never thought he was going to end up a unified champion at welterweight. So Norman is, who was he beat?
True. He's 24, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's a lot of fights for a 24-year-old.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of fights for a 24-year-old. Now, BDA said he struggled in his previous fights. But then again, he's 24. Maybe he learned from that. Who knows? When you're that young, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. If you fight a veteran or something, you're not going to look as good. So there's a possibility. I mean, of course, I don't know what's going to fucking happen. Still, maybe he's not the real deal. But I was going to say this. Yeah, go ahead, BDA.
Jim Ryu says Haney's going to snort Conte's ashes.
Jesus.
Well, listen, the reason why I'm confident that Norman's going to win is because he's got a really good trainer in the corner. I'll just say that.
Who's the trainer?
He's right up here. He's right up here.
What?
It's from Atlanta, Georgia. I guess that joke, but whatever.
Oh, okay. I got you. Hey, can I say something?
We got a good strategy, okay? We're going to break the Haneys.
There you go. I was gonna say that about Norman. Come on. I was gonna say that, Bucho, about Norman. The Ring Magazine came up to him and went up to him and they asked him. Because nowadays, again, they're running out of things to ask these guys. So they go up to him. They start showing him pictures of Haney, and they're asking him to rate Haney's what do they call it, drip? Which is like Zoomer speak for his clothes.
Okay.
And Norman goes. Oh. So they show him a bunch of outfits from Haney, and he goes. Norman goes, okay. This is what's wrong with boxing. Like, instead of talking boxing to me, you're asking me to talk fashion, and it's true. Like, but then again, to be fair to Ring Magazine, what the hell else are you gonna ask these dudes? Are you gonna tell them about strategy? Let's talk boxing. No, the thing that works on Twitter and on Facebook and YouTube, the thing that gets the views is when these guys ask antagonizing questions. Like, Ryan Garcia said this about you. How do you respond? And then he calls Ryan Garcia a cocksucker, and then boom, that's the headline now. Norman doesn't pull punches, calls Garcia a cocksucker. It's like, that's what sells. So I understand. Listen, I agree with Norman that it's fucking stupid and fruity to be asking a guy to rate his opponent's drip, his fashion sense. But that's where we're at in boxing right now. It's, you want to have real conversations, go to real people. Otherwise,
how big do you think his cock is?
Okay, like,
oh my God.
I mean, Mayweather kind of did that.
Ballpark it.
Okay. Mayweather kind of started that when he would invite like those fight hype people into his dressing room, and he always talk about what he wore and all this dumb shit, and they would just go every time he would say something.
Hey, remember that in the chat, like.
Like that.
I think what they should do, they should get away with all that. Like, it's just like boring NBA press conference questions. What else can you ask? Like y'all are saying, but back in the day, like in the Max Boxing days, they had like gym wars, and that's when fighters allowed video of them training, of them sparring. You know what I mean? So like that would look good. Like Devin doing the pad work, it was pretty impressive. Norman doing his thing with the pad work and on the bags, that looks good. Man, if people watch that, that's gonna make people more excited than, hey man, what do you think about his clothes? You know what I mean? But we can't do that no more because now fighters make a big deal out of sparring, make a big deal out of, oh, I can't show you in the gym. You know what I mean? They're so secretive. I don't know how old y'all are, but when they had Mike's Boxing, they used to have this thing, skit called Gym Wars. So you would see all the top guys sparring each other, and they would show it, and it was badass. Like when they showed Valero beating the shit out of Eric Morales, when Morales was trying to get ready for a fight, man, it was awesome, man. But everybody's too sensitive and too secretive now. You can't do that.
That's what Robert Garcia said when he was some of his guys were sparring against guys from another gym, and then one of the guys from the other gym, he goes, hey, don't film because we don't like the sparring getting out. He goes, fucker, I can watch your fights on YouTube. I don't need to watch your spar. Virgil Ortiz said the same thing when he was talking about sparring Canelo. He goes, I hit him with this move, and okay, I don't want to tell you what the move is because it's a secret move. It's like, fuck, I can see. Anybody who's got a relatively discerning eye can look at your fights and start figuring out what you do. He's talking like he's got the secret recipe KFC or something. Come on, man. These guys are too sensitive. That's true.
Like what Wilder's talking about doing his secret spinning combo technique and shit.
Oh, well, he showed that to everybody. He didn't give a
Yeah, the double Phoenix punch. Yeah.
double Phoenix.
Speaking of Mayweather, I mean, as much as I don't like Mayweather, he did have a lot of footage in the gym. He loved showing him jumping rope, that famous mitt routine that everybody thought was you got to do that to get better, which it was just for the cameras. But yeah, you got to have stuff like that, man, because these interviews are boring, man. Like, what are you gonna ask these guys? They're not like Brian Norman's like a real mature guy. He just doesn't. He's not gonna give you anything juicy. You know what I mean? And Devin is just annoying. So I feel like I'm listening to a teenager talk.
Well, I do like the interviews sometimes where they do it via Zoom. So it's more of a long. What's the word I'm looking for here? They're doing it for a long time. That is like a 40-minute interview, long format. But when they show up to the press conferences and these dudes are all these journalists are all fighting each other to try to get one question. So they want to try to get the most provocative question out there. Those are boring. But when it's like a Zoom call and it's one-on-one, those I don't mind. They do get some juicy bits out of these guys. But the other ones, man, where they're fighting to get one question in, those are boring, man. Those are just so boring.
I like with the sit down. You know, Max Kellerman used to have where they'd sit the two fighters down at the table and they'd sit with the chairs backwards and they're face to face. They're face to face. Oh shit! I'm driving through a hill. Yeah, but the ones where they sit at the table and somebody's mediating, like Max Kellerman, and they're both sitting at a table and like going at each other. I like that.
No, what I meant was you lost me when you mentioned Max Kellerman. That's paying attention. I mean, anything with him is some of those face-offs were good. Some of them. But then they started overdoing it.
Those Brits are doing it all the time for those fights. Like
and it's lost its purpose, right?
Arthur
it's lost its lesson.
Yeah.
I think with these two it worked because they got bad blood. Their dads are always talking shit. They're just constantly bickering. And then, like the best one was Cotto Margarito. You know, when they sat those two down at that table, that was like. But when you have two guys like this, I think it'll work.
Well, that's the thing, though. If they did it with Ortiz and Lubin, right? Or no? I don't think they did it. And again, they shouldn't have. If they didn't do it, good, because those guys have.
It was lame.
There you go. That's the thing. Somebody, we're talking about who's going to be the next phase of boxing. When Frank brought up the fact that Ortiz doesn't really have the it factor, and it's true. Butcher, you put that in the video you did about asking that question, who's going to be the next star, and Ortiz with that reporter who asked him a question, he goes. He asked him, what have you learned about the boxing game or whatever? What I've learned is people talking about things they don't know anything about, like you did. And so because of that, I will not be answering your question now or ever. I was like, what the fuck? You can't treat the media like that. You need these dudes. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. Some of these guys, they're way too sensitive. And that's the other thing. They weaponize the sparring footage. Because now nobody wants sparring footage released because if they look bad in sparring, then the opposition, they put it out there and they like, you say like the Schofields. They're obsessed with the whole sparring thing. And by the way, Butcher, what was it that Schofield said recently? The Schofield's father, because they pulled him out of the fight.
He was. I wrote it down somewhere.
But see, Schofield's one of the. While you're looking for that, Schofield's father, everyone. Yeah, go ahead.
Shakur has hand problems. That's why his career is not gonna last. So he compared him to Floyd Mayweather. Remember, Floyd had hand problems, but then again, Floyd actually kind of like he went pretty far. Oh, this was a Fight Hub interview, and then Shakur was asked, was told, well, what about Floyd? I mean, his career actually went pretty far. You know, like when he moved to welterweight, he just changed his style, and then his what's his name again? Schofield's father goes like, well, he changed the business style or the business, you know. And then he started to go somewhere else. He started like pretty much criticizing Floyd because he was saying Floyd chose his opponents very carefully. It was based on marketing. His career started to be based only on marketing. His aura of invincibility, basically. And so, yeah, he pretty much shit on Floyd. And even Floyd Schofield, he also threw in a comment in there. He's like, you know, when I was a kid, I was watching these 24/7s, and I realized how they made Robert Guerrero look more dangerous than what he actually was. He says Robert Guerrero was pretty good, you know, but at welterweight, he wasn't that good. And 24/7 actually, you know, like they sold you this idea that
Robert Guerrero got beat up by Orlando Salido at 126.
There you go. I mean, can you believe this guy was fighting at featherweight? And so he had that Berto win. Remember that Berto win allowed him to...
It was a draw. It was a draw.
It was a draw? The first one?
If I'm not tripping.
No, it was Guerrero won that one. He turned Berto. He made Berto look Asian in that one.
Yeah.
These eyes. But I mean, but Berto was a guy that even they were already willing to throw him in there with Tim Bradley at the time. Because they were sick of his ass. So it's not like Berto was his, you know, world beater. I mean, he was good, he was fast, but other than that, so yeah, man, what Schofield is saying, it's interesting that he's saying that. But then again, it makes you wonder: are the Schofields going to go the same route? The fuck? How can I hear myself in the background? But anyway, yeah, it makes you wonder.
Are they going to go the same route? I mean, I don't know. I mean, they're criticizing Floyd Mayweather. I mean, if they go the same route, it would be pretty hypocritical. And then he also said, Schofield's father said, if you can sell drugs, you can sell a boxer.
Whoa, wait a minute. Was that a shot at somebody? Was that a shot at Bill Haney?
I don't know. That's what I thought initially. You can sell...
It's a heck of an example. By the way.
Sell anything.
If you can sell drugs, I mean...
Well, I bet what Turkey's going to do, since Dana White is taking over, they're going to start their own league. They might not get all the talent, but they might get more guys that move the needle, because their company is the same company as the WWE. And man, they got to have some of those character coaches come in and be like, hey guys, you know, pick a personality and we're going to fucking work on it. You got to sell your character. You know what I mean? Because I mean, look at guys like
WWE coaches that come in. There is no characters in today's modern WWE. That's why no one watches.
Well, I mean, no, it's still big, but you know what I mean? But these guys got to like pick something out of them. Like, hey, man, you got to play a role, play a villain, play a good guy, do something. You know what I mean? Coach him in the same things that move the needle, because like, look at Adrian Broner. He wasn't that good, but the only reason he's got so many opportunities is because everybody likes watching him get beat up. And it was the same thing with Floyd. Nobody liked watching Floyd, but he was popular because of his attitude. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. It's weird, man. These guys are so dry, and it sucks because the guys that I like the guys I think that are taking over the sport, the Eastern Europeans, those are like my favorite guys, because they're not like spoiled Americans who are just worried about TikTok and Instagram. You know, they're all business, but the only thing is they're hard to sell because they don't talk.
True.
I mean, yeah, look, it's Turk Solozzo in the chat says, great analogy about the drug dealer thing. Well, you know, I don't care what a guy does for a living, but drug business, it's a little dangerous. From the Godfather.
Not only because, like, you know, these guys can talk. I also want to attribute that.
No, you sound like a robot. Did you put on that mask that you 3D printed?
He's naked with a mask on. Yeah.
No, the thing I was mentioning is the fact that it's not only because they can really talk. Also, Mayweather also was in an era that there was not many heavyweights around. I think was the Klitschko.
That's true.
Yeah, well, he didn't. The UFC was a baby. Also, they weren't the monster they are now. Like, they were barely coming up when Floyd was in his heyday. And HBO was still the platform. You know what I mean? So HBO was the.
I mean, can we stop? Can we stop that with the UFC thing, man? Like, everybody knows like when it's like a decent pay-per-view or like decent fights around boxing, nobody cares about MMA.
I mean, more people know about watch UFC than boxing. That's the ugly truth. I don't like it. I can't stand UFC. But like I brought up the fight today to some coworkers, and they're like, "Oh, you're going because I'm going to the fight. I'm going to the fight tomorrow." And they're like, "Oh yeah, what fight is it? UFC?" And that every time you bring up like a fight, like just test it, and they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, what is it UFC?" Like casuals don't care about boxing.
I'm gonna give you an example, right? WWE. Right now, even though like nobody's watching that shit, it's bigger than ever before.
Yeah, they're all kids.
Yeah, exactly. That's the same as MMA.
Yeah. Well, a different demographic, but honestly, bro, I like boxing the way it is because when I went to the Jake Paul Tyson fight, I'm sitting there in a section and I'm used to hearing boxing heads and funny ass dudes that are like buzzing, talking shit and heckling. But man, the people I was sitting around, dude, they weren't boxing fans at all. They never watched boxing. They were the complete casuals. They're talking about shopping. The girls were talking about their nails and their hair. Nobody was really paying attention to the undercard. So I like it niche.
No, you know what's going on also? I don't, to your point, because you actually brought a good point. To your point, it's not only in boxing. You're going to find the same thing in every single sport. But you know why? It's because of the, the increasing access to, gambling. So you have people now, just because they're betting, they're going to throw you all these numbers at you, or, all these different things at you. But in reality, they don't know nothing about the sports. I know guys, they're going to talk about, baseball, goddamn day to me, this guy does this. He throws certain amount of pitchings and amount of strikes per innings and all these stats to me. But
that is baseball. Baseball is by the numbers. You're just describing a baseball fan.
Yeah, but the thing is, when
I'm a fan and I can tell you
know nothing about the
all
sport.
day.
Yeah. Like, for example, they're going to throw, because the Yankees have, like, Judge and all these hitters and shit, not knowing that the baseball is a pitching sport. So, like,
it's a pitching sport. Pitching always wins.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Well, if you go to a Jake Paul fight, there's a lot of guys in the crowd. A lot of the guys in the Jake Paul fights in the stands and all that, they're catchers. They're not pitchers. Now, don't ask me how I know that, but I got it on good authority. But listen, the thing about these fighters is Jake Paul. That's the other thing, though. It's again, he really pissed me off with this whole thing of, Tank Davis, he's a human trash bag, blah blah blah. And I'm thinking, why'd you want to fight him in the first place? You knew what he was.
Everybody knew that.
Yeah. Now all of a sudden he's on his high horse. Like, now let me tell you about what we do. I protect women. You know what? I wouldn't.
I'm here to protect my girls. I'm here to protect my girls.
My girls. Yeah, he probably refers to them that way.
Fucking pimp.
Here's the thing, though. I hate when they start saying that fucking shit, like, I protect women, like they're like, some species about to like die or to be extinguished or some shit, like you don't see grown ass women out on the street, like,
There's no morals in boxing. This is the red light districts of sports, man. They're like everybody's a snake in boxing, man. That's why, like us, when the longer we watch the sport and the more we know about it, like the more like we don't even like the fighters anymore because even the fighters are crooked. Fighters are screw people, So it's not just the promoters. Like everybody's a snake. It's crazy. Like boxing is like the red light district of sports. You know what I mean? I mean, all sports have a dark side to them, but boxing takes the cake.
So are the fans.
Oh, yeah. The Tank fans. I mean, you got your extremists. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Well, maybe at the end of the day, this whole... that's what I was going to get at. I just remember that with the whole thing about guys being stars. The model right now is being so different from what it was 20 years ago. Who knows? That's. I think I forget which one of you guys was talking about that who knows if we're going to get a star. But we might not. We might.
You always need a star, bro.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that it's going to come out. It's not. That doesn't mean it's necessarily. It's going to.
We have an innate desire to worship things. It's like a human. It's usually to worship God if you're religious, but you're not religious. You have to worship things. Man.
Well, no. First of all, I don't need. First of all, that I don't think people want to worship things. I think maybe certain people do, but I don't think everybody wants to worship.
Dude,
something.
Right now the NFL is going through like, Patrick Mahomes is amazing. Before that it was Tom Brady. Before that it was this. It's always like this, man.
Yeah, but the NFL is a mainstream thing. Yes.
Have we had a period in boxing where there wasn't a superstar, like a face of boxing?
Yes. But that's what I'm saying, though. There's always, in between, for example, the Ali, when he had his last fight in, what was it, 81, I want to say. Larry Holmes became the champion at the time, and it took about 5 years before Mike Tyson. Oh, no, excuse me. At around that time, Leonard came on the scene, and he took over. And then when Leonard was, it was only a brief period, maybe give it a couple of months or maybe a year. Like the last time I remember a lull was 2005 after De La Hoya lost to Hopkins in late 2004. 2005 was one of those, you know what the biggest fight in 2004 was? Trinidad versus Winky Wright. That was the highest grossing pay-per-view at the time.
Oh, geez.
That's it. Because De La Hoya didn't fight. Hopkins beat De La Hoya, but he didn't become De La Hoya. You know, like you don't become the face of boxing because you beat the face of boxing. So there was a restructuring period until about 2 years later when De La Hoya returned and did so then later on against Mayweather. So it was about a 2-year period.
Okay, so we can get a year or two of like boxing without face of boxing.
Well, but hold on. But then when Mayweather and Pacquiao fought in 2015, it took about 2016. What was the biggest fight of 2016? You don't remember, do you? Because there wasn't really any big fight. Mayweather
or
Pacquiao had a couple of.
2016.
When was Kovalev? No, that wasn't.
When was Kovalev Ward?
That was 2016 in November.
Was it?
2016. Damn.
Or was it the rematch?
Yeah, but there you go. So there is almost always a 1 year period.
Yeah.
So right now, that's what we're gonna probably get in 2026. Excuse me. If Canelo doesn't fight and doesn't fight anybody significant, that's what it's gonna be. Because Crawford ain't no star. He's not gonna get the star appeal just because he beat Canelo. I mean, Bivol beat Canelo. He didn't become a star. You know what I mean? So there's going to be a restructuring period. We need the Joshuas. We need but again, that's what I'm trying to get at here. Just because there's always been a star doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to continue to be so, because the model right now is so different. Guys are fighting twice a year now, if that. So who knows?
Yeah, but if you don't get a star, then the whole system's going to change to produce a star. Because you need you need to make money. But, I mean, yeah, of course. It's going to remain like the way it is, and nobody's going to make any money. Because I'm telling you, man,
money with a star.
How many people are
the chances?
I don't know, man.
There was windows to try to pass the torch, but they just weren't taken because Mayweather on the way out didn't pass the torch. Canelo, again, I stand by this. He ducked Benavidez. That would have been, if Benavidez would have won, that would have been Benavidez. He might have gotten his launch pad, maybe not, but that was the chance. And with Crawford, now that he's in the driver's seat, he doesn't want to. He's not going to fight Boots and give him that launch pad. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, it's a lot of factors, and Boots is not really active. I don't know, man. It's a lot of things, but there's no passing of the torch. That's the big one.
Well, who passed the torch to Canelo then?
No, he was manufactured. You can manufacture a star like Canelo. You can always do that.
No, I mean Canelo came up with he got a whole bunch of names. He fought a bunch of named fighters on HBO. Remember, HBO is the powerhouse. I think you guys don't realize how big HBO was to making stars, man. They were the nucleus to making stars. But
who doesn't realize that?
But you need some talent. You need some talent. Canelo
Canelo was talented.
You can try to manufacture bomb and you won't succeed. I remember Baby Joe Messi. Remember that? Fucking heavyweight. Right. I mean, he never went anywhere because he was.
I mean, they're trying to manufacture Cletus Selden for one fight, and that didn't last long.
Yeah, exactly. You can try to manufacture. Remember that Ali's fucking grandson.
You can't manufacture Wilder and Tanker. Yeah, Wilder and Tanker manufactured, and they became a commodity. But did they really become bona fide stars? No. You know what I mean? The last star to come out of that.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. I don't really think, because the thing is, we're talking about like the time when TV was prevalent, when you don't have social media, you know. But nowadays, you know, I think that superstar notion, I think that shit is gone. I think the only thing we can hope, at least in America, is like, you know, we're gonna have like guys like by regions, like for example, I don't know. Shakur and Teofimo will be like the East Coast. The Fernandez guys, you know, will be like on the West Coast, shit like that, you know. But I don't really think it will be like a star again, because Mayweather again. He was in an era where there were not many heavyweights. Just like I think was just Klitschko. He also landed like things like Dancing with the Stars. He appears on the WWE. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
like,
he had Oscar, he had Cotto, he had Haddon, he had Gotti.
Again,
he had all these HBO stars. Like he fought Canelo. Like he had a lot of names. He was surrounded by big fighters.
No, you're right. But again, even though you have like guys like Usyk with like great resumes, you got guys in America with good and two decent resumes. You're not gonna build another American superstar like that, man. Like you don't have the promotions from the
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Promotions from the you don't have the promotions from the TV. You don't have the commercials. These guys don't have the personalities. They don't fight enough. It's many things, man. And even
well, this is why we need one dominant platform like the way HBO was. HBO was the one place that the hardcores and casuals identified that was the hub for boxing. That was the best of the best. And that's why if Turkey pulls it off, they're going to have UFC and boxing on one platform. So that's going to make it, that's what can make it better.
We only have two platforms right now. And the Top Rank, we're going to see where they go. But when it comes to, the PBC doesn't have like that many fighters anymore. Like there's a lot of fights that can be made on the zone and they're not even being made. So, we can talk about, well, if we only had one network, DAZN can even make the fights that they have. What the fuck's going on, go ahead.
As a platform, I think everybody's going to the zone. But here's the thing, though. Even though when you do that, look at the prices. People can't afford that shit. Even if you got like,
it is ridiculous.
Even if you go like everybody go to the same place, you can realistically afford that shit.
Yeah, that's another.
Dude, every time I go have a beer, when I go have a beer and I ask them to put the fight on and it's on the zone, they don't know what I'm talking about. They're like, "What? What is that?" Like, no, we don't have that. I mean, it's just. Casuals don't know what that is. HBO is HBO was the network everybody knew. Whether you had it or not, you knew what HBO was. It was the best in movies and it was the best in sports.
Yeah, well, that's why. I mean, this is different. Yeah, this is the zone. It's only sports.
Yeah,
they don't show movies. They don't show.
The thing is, also you had things like 24/7. You got you guys got like again doing commercials. You got sponsorships. You don't got none of those things anymore, man. No, those things.
Yeah, but you're not gonna get sponsorship until you get sponsorship not gonna show. But all of that shit's gonna show up once you have a fighter that's popular. So there's no sponsorships because nobody's popular. Why is nobody popular? Well, because again, they're on these networks that are not promoting the fights properly. They're not making the fights that we want to see. They're allowing these fighters to fight 2 times a year, 2 times every 1.5 years. So that's the problem.
Look at this guy Strong, Bucho. They don't even look like back in the days. Even Golovkin, who barely speak English, had like his trunk look like a damn NASCAR car with whole
HBO.
Well, what did they do? No, but let's break it down. What did they do with Golovkin? They put him in the ring 3 times a year. He had knockout power. He wasn't running around the ring, and the referees and the commentators going like, "Oh, nothing's wrong. He can run if he wants. He can clinch if he wants." No, like this guy was knocking people out 3 times a year. Same Mexican style and shit, and willing to fight anybody. So this is this is the blueprint. Simple as that. It's simple as that.
I think I think it was HBO that helped since he couldn't really talk. HBO lifted him up, and I think that's again network. But that's why, like I said again, if Turkey takes over and we have UFC and boxing in one channel, right? You're gonna see advertisements, commercials, highlights from both sports. So UFC fighters are gonna see the best of boxing. And vice versa, and that's where casuals are like, oh, well, that's the fight hub. That's what I'm going to go see if I want to watch UFC. They're going to go watch UFC. They're going to see some boxing commercials. Oh, shit, I'm going to watch that too. It's on the same channel. I mean, so if he pulls it off and gets both fight sports on one dominant network, then I think we can get back to, being where we used to be in the 90s.
You need to sell. You can only sell a dominant fighter. That's the thing. You can. Golovkin looked dominant because he was dominant. He didn't just. HBO was like, we'll choose this guy. We'll just build him up. No, this guy did the work for them, obviously, because he was knocking people out. He looked exciting. He looked dominant. And then Canelo, comes along. He's like thinking about moving up in weight. And now it's a real challenge. Now, oh shit, the guy that's dominating everybody, knocking them out, he could fight Canelo. So there was excitement, but you're not creating this excitement because, like, Butch Ennis, who's he fighting? He fights fucking Stanionis, who looked like a midget, right? And then he moves up in weight finally, and then he fights Lima. Like, everybody, like, does
he fought Karrion twice.
So one,
he fought Karrion twice, and everybody's like, why?
Yeah, but see, here's the thing: the boxing fans are not stupid, or whoever's watching boxing. They know when they see talent. So Golovkin was knocking these guys out, but it's not because these guys were bombs; they were contenders. When it comes to Butch Ennis, he knocks out Lima, and you can tell that Lima shouldn't have been in the ring. Even if you don't watch boxing often, you know Lima was like he was some sort of contender. He was a fucking nobody, because you don't get knocked out like that. With he didn't even block a punch. He didn't even.
Dude, you couldn't take one punch.
Exactly. Anybody can see that. Like they can see that this is the guy sucks. Lima sucks. He's not even he's not supposed to be in there. So,
and none of y'all are incorrect. Y'all are all like on point because it's a lot of fact. It's not one thing or the other. It's a lot of things. You know what I mean? And we're also suffering from the aftermath of Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather was a cancer. Then we have all these Floyd Mayweather clones like Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, and even if they don't fight like him, there's other guys that are divas like him, like Teofimo Lopez, like Ryan Garcia. So like Floyd really fucked up our boxing for like 10 years.
I mean, here's the thing though. We can really put everything on Floyd because at the end of the day, that motherfucker got into 50 fights. And you don't get to that point unless you fight maybe 3 to 4 times a year, right? And he did one time a year after he was in his late 30s, right? So these guys, they copying like the wrong version of Floyd. I don't really think you can put everything on Floyd because even with the way they fight, like the boring style, they're fighting like a 35, 38-year-old man. Like a no.
But it has to be, bro. Okay, name me another era that you remember in boxing where we had this style of fighter that was like Floyd. Like before him, it was before Floyd's era. It was Roy Jones, De La Hoya. Even Sweet Pea, Sweet Pea fought in the pocket. And what about before them? It was Mike Tyson, the heavyweights. It was Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns.
No, Floyd's an anomaly. Floyd's an anomaly.
Yeah,
the boring ass style is never going to sell again. We'll never say never, but it's very unlikely.
No, but here's the thing, though.
Again, fighters are still trying to do it.
He got boring, like when he got older. But a lot of his fights that were actually exciting, like the Cotto fight, the Hatton fight, he has many exciting fights. Just these motherfuckers.
I can't say all of them were boring. Yeah, there's except. I mean, yes, those fights. But I mean, so he fought Hatton in 2008, December 2007.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like after,
and then you mentioned Cotto. That was like 3 years. Holy shit! No, 6 years later. 5 years later. So I mean, rarely did he fight exciting at welterweight and above. He was extremely boring. So how he made it?
Yep.
Well, the stars aligned. I always say that the stars aligned for this guy. There was a lot of Hispanic fighters, Mexican fighters that he could fight. That there was a potential Pacquiao fight that everybody was talking about. When are they gonna fight? When are they gonna fight? So you're glued to the screen, waiting for them to fight. They never fight, and then they finally fight when they're fucking old. But you're never gonna recreate all those variables again.
Yeah, no, it's impossible.
Here's the thing, Bucho. You're gonna tell me that you're gonna have somebody in the lower weights as successful as Floyd Mayweather, and I'm not saying he wasn't great, So people in the comments don't try to act like I'm shitting on the guy. But if you have at least somebody like Anthony Joshua, in the heavyweight division, do you think he wouldn't be as popular as he was?
Yes, so Mike Tyson.
He didn't have Mike Tyson in his era, but
I'm saying. I didn't get your question. I was saying a heavyweight can be as. What was the question then? Sorry, I missed. I didn't understand it.
No, like you see how Floyd was as popular as he was, right?
Yes.
My point of contention always was he was as popular as he was because the heavyweight division was shit. You only had Klitschko, right? So imagine if he got around that era.
Yeah.
Yeah. So imagine if he around that era. You will have somebody, I don't know, like Joshua, do you think Floyd Mayweather would be as popular as he was? I don't think so.
I think so. I think so.
I mean, Canelo still was the face of boxing, and it was still in Joshua's era. Joshua was considered number
Joshua was just coming up.
Good point. No, because
and the thing
Floyd
is, remember,
did fight. He fought a lot of Hispanics,
Joshua was the cash cow in Europe, and Canelo was the cash cow in America. But the difference is, Canelo was exciting too. Canelo was fighting 3 to 4 times a year. So it's no way in hell that you're not gonna see this guy, on your TV.
Yeah, but Floyd transcended the sport. Also, I forgot to mention, he did sell fights with his, with his trash talking and all that. His aura of invincibility. I'm the best. I'm invincible. He was basically what's what he was saying, right? Nobody can beat me. So.
Wearing Mexican flag colors.
And again, it wasn't only that. It wasn't only that. Yeah, the Mexican flag. It was the fact that he fought De La Hoya. De La Hoya passed down the torch. Then he fought, some Mexican guys. He fought Marquez. He fought Hatton. He fought Cotto. And then there was the ever looming fucking Pacquiao fight, right? So everybody was always watching their fights, both Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather's fights, and thinking, is this the last time they fight before they fight each other? And then they didn't fight each other. And then, is this the last time they're going to be fighting, Joshua Clottey or whatever before they fight each other? And then you had to wait again. And so they were building, the stars just aligned for this guy. I'm telling you. And he became such a big star.
Look at the names. There was so many guys that drew and sold like big crowds and did ratings. Canelo, Pacquiao, Cotto, Gotti, Hatton, Marquez, Mosley, fucking this guy, like he was just in a great era, and he caught everybody at the right time.
Yeah.
And again, there was one network that everybody knew was king, HBO, and 2, there was not a lot of competition as fight sports because UFC was still, they still were like, it was still a baby.
Right. You know what I find is funny? Like Eddie Hearn thinking that he had like a Floyd Mayweather in Devin Haney way back. Like, oh man, if I can get this guy to continue on being undefeated, moving up in weight, I have a Floyd in my hand.
Well, that's why he was giving those gift decisions. The establishment, the guys who are running, whoever these suits are behind the scenes, they're probably in their ear. Hey man, this is going to be our next Floyd Mayweather, our next Money Mayweather guy. He looks like him, he moves like him, he acts like him, man. And so of course they're going to protect the guy.
Well, they're stupid because even if he is like a very good boxer that nobody can beat, you can't sell that because he's boring. But they in their minds, he's like, well, Floyd was boring too, and they managed to sell this guy, right? So we can do the same. No, they don't understand. There was a bunch of things we just mentioned, a lot of factors that came into play that don't exist right now. There's no De La Hoya. Nobody's passing down the torch to fucking Haney, right? There's not all these Hispanic boxers. There's no Pacquiao, right? A super fight on the horizon for Haney. What else did we mention about Floyd? I mean, no.
He's not entertaining by himself.
He's not entertaining inside or outside the ring.
Yeah.
Well, Floyd was exciting in the beginning, and that's the thing these guys don't have. Like, Floyd put in work when he was Pretty Boy. These guys want to go straight to Money Mayweather. You can't do that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah. But then the Money Mayweather era started when he was 30 years old, I believe, or 31, whatever, when he fought De La Hoya. That was like, let's say, the second part of his career. The one everybody looks at. But yeah, before that, he was complaining about like him not getting a chance, not being promoted properly, blah, blah, blah. But did that actually help him in any way to become Money Mayweather? I don't know.
Well, the scary thing is the new boxing fans that have been watching boxing for the last 10 years, like, we're older, so we remember the 2000s and the 90s. They never experienced that. They don't know how good it was. So they start watching boxing, and think about it. They've been watching boxing for more than 10 years now, because that's how long Floyd's been out of that time. So now that's all they know. So when you're seeing all these guys online arguing, they don't know any better, because they started watching boxing when it was Money Mayweather, when HBO was already collapsing. So I kind of feel bad for them, but they don't know how good it used to be.
Right. And they think it was normal for a boring boxer like Floyd to become popular, and it's not. It was an anomaly. it's not the case. It shouldn't be the case now that a boring fighter gets all this attention. So yeah, no, they're living in a bubble basically. No, they need to go and learn about the past. It's a problem.
I've always wondered, like, how many new boxing fans are made each year? Like, there's got to be statistics somewhere out there because under like 20 years old, people who actually watch boxing.
There's probably more dying than being made new, dude.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, like, it's not popular against, like, I don't know who said it, but when you ask people about UFC, they know. When you ask people about boxing, they know nothing. You can ask anybody.
Yeah, I mean, but also what hurt boxing too, because when HBO, I'm an HBO pom-pom waiver, bro. Like when HBO was doing their thing, they would take the fights to. Remember, there wasn't pay-per-view back then. There was only select fights that were pay-per-view. Now everything's on pay-per-view, and also they wouldn't stay in Vegas. Now everybody wants that site fee. And there used to be, like in Texas, there was fights in Houston, in San Antonio, in Dallas, in Austin. Man, those fights every month, like in Texas, they were all over the country. Now they don't want to travel. They just want to stick things in Vegas. And now everything's pay-per-view.
TKO said, Dana White said in an interview, was it with Steve Kim and in the 3 knockout rule, that they want to do like national events all over the country.
Yeah, I hope, man, because I remember going to see Fernando Vargas in Chicago, and that was badass because then you link up with, you see all the Chicago people. I go to Houston for fights. And then you got the New York fights, you got the LA fights. But for a while there, because of Floyd never left Vegas. Like everything just started Vegas.
And then New York, you the Barclays, the Barclays, and then like 2-3 places where they started to only show fights. They need to do this across the fucking country. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to take the fights to the people, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, fight outside a Waffle House or some shit like that.
Yeah, man, that's better than the Barclays Center all the time. Remember that with the
Can we not empty out a Waffle House, dude? He has all the money in the world. Empty out a Waffle House. Let's get a ring in there.
Yeah. They do that in Mexico, right? They find in restaurants.
They're doing it in Mexico.
Didn't that idea? Have you heard that he's trying to do one on top of the building?
Did you hear that? That he's trying to do one on top of a fucking skyscraper? That's insane.
The stadium?
Yeah, he's trying to do, a boxing
No, the Saudi Arabia, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
No, it's going to happen, dude. These dudes have so much money, it's insane.
How are they going to do the elevators and shit? Like, the whole building's going to have to be a giant elevator.
They'll figure it out. With money, there's no.
Yeah, but it's logistics, basically. Well, we'll see, man. Listen, I'm pretty sure they thought about it. Well, actually, not really.
Like,
you remember in United Arab Emirates, I think there's this building, the hotel, they don't have any sewage. So there's trucks every morning that have to, like, dump all the shit somewhere else. They pick up all the sewage. They don't have sewage. Yeah, it's crazy. They didn't plan that shit. So, I mean, well, anyways, who cares? What else? Let's see what else we have in the news. Maybe we should end the show. It's already been 2 hours and 48 minutes. Let's end the show. All right, guys. Thank you for being on the show. We'll see you, I guess, maybe tomorrow after the fight if something crazy happens. If not, we'll see you on Sunday with a post-fight report. Everybody on Discord, really appreciate you being here. Thank you for being on. See you. All right. Everybody on YouTube, I want to thank you for also being on the show, for your crazy comments. And yeah, again, a potential post-fight show tomorrow if something crazy fucking happens. If not, Sunday show. All right? Having said that, take care. We'll see you next time.
Warning. You are
Listos pe los chingazos. Listos pe los chingazos.
I'm gonna bring the whole fucking diseased, corrupt temple down on your